Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, August 11th. I'm Tori here with my friends Al and Erica. We're grateful you're joining us. Let's get started. You're never going to believe who's defending New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned yesterday after being accused of sexually harassing nearly a dozen women. Alec Baldwin called Cuomo's resignation a tragic day on Twitter and blamed cancel culture.
Yeah. We're just going to use that term for everything.
Yeah, what is that? The term to me is like, at some point, it's not cancel culture. It's literally accountability culture, and the language difference is important. Not everything is cancel culture. When you do something bad, you get punished. That's just what happened. It's a consequence. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the ones, Erica, I don't think that cancel culture exists. I think that if you have fans, then you can never be canceled. Tucker Carlson has said some things that you can argue should have had him taken off air, but they can't take him off air because his ratings are too high. He cannot be canceled. Crystal Pepsi did not have fans. And so it is not on the shelves anymore.
Crystal Pepsi.
It's like, what are we talking about? Shout out to Crystal Pepsi, by the way.
But yeah, you're right. Did not go well.
Oh, man. Well, you know, it's kind of ironic that it's Alec Baldwin who's speaking up about this, because he is the prime example of if you have fans, you cannot be canceled. I mean, he's done some questionable things in the past, he is reigning like the king of the world. So it's probably a weird juxtaposition to have. Obviously, they have a relationship, and he's speaking out, and everybody needs somebody to be in their corner. Right. But Alec Baldwin is just a very interesting choice. Like, there's no cancel culture for him.
Now, there is for his wife, which I thought about. Remember Hilaria Baldwin, who claimed to be Spanish recently and wasn't when they found out she was born in Boston. His wife was canceled.
Was she?
Very much so.
How? What were the?
She had 5 products that were taken away from her. She had a gazillion people watching her for mommy stuff. And as soon as the video of her saying, "I don't remember how to say in English cucumbers," she was born in Boston. Okay, she traveled to vacation in Spain. So he knows cancel culture, and I think is quite sensitive because his wife was recently canceled. I think that's why.
Interesting.
She went on Red Table Talk, and someone said, or she calls it La Mesa Roja.
The internet
Sorry,
always wins.
but you earned that one. All right. Let's also talk about Andrew Cuomo's brother, because a lot of you have been writing us in saying, what's going on with CNN host Chris Cuomo? They both used to appear together on the show. They would talk about spaghetti sauce. Well, Chris is on vacation this week and has not been reporting or commenting on his brother and the big scandal. But he is apparently still advising him. That's according to fellow CNN anchor Brian Stelter, who, excuse me, who was on Stephen Colbert's show last night. Take a look.
I'll confirm it for your viewers. I also have a source that says Chris was on the phone with his brother this week.
Is your source Chris Cuomo?
He is not. If we open up the journalism ethics book, there's no page for this. It's the craziest set of circumstances you can imagine, right? A governor and a brother, both in these high-profile jobs. This was definitely awkward for CNN, though.
Sure.
I tried to go into this thinking, okay, if I was going to cover this at CBS, how would I cover it? And try to cover it the same way. And I talked to a lot of sources at CNN. Some said, yeah, this is really weird. I'm ticked off at Chris. Others said, you know, I understand. You can't pick who your family members are.
All right, thoughts? I know a lot of people are like, why hasn't he said something? Why hasn't he said something? I heard he did ask his brother to resign and was sort of pushing him that way. What would you guys do?
That's a tough one.
It is.
I mean,
I get it.
It really is. I was watching a clip of Chris Cuomo when he said, you know, obviously these allegations have come to light, and I can't speak on an ongoing, something to that extent. I think this is really crazy. I remember not to make the two the same, but when I was doing morning radio in Chicago, my brother was playing football at Northwestern, and that put our family in the kind of like, not like a big spotlight, but it was like a spotlight, you know, there were things going on. And I remember having this conversation with him where I'm like, do not mess this up. Like, do not mess this up, because if you do something stupid, I'm going to get the consequences. If I do something stupid, you're going to feel the consequences. So let's just agree to be on our best behavior, okay?
Smart.
But you know, you can't control that.
No.
You really can't. You can't control who your family is.
Well, I'll tell you this, Erica. I'll tell you what you can control is having your brother on your show every night. Because when, you know, when Andrew was killing it, you know, going after Trump, landing some pretty big verbal jabs on him, and he was super popular, even though it seems like he was in the midst of covering up what was going on with the nursing homes. It was almost the Cuomo show every night. So then my question to everybody is, then can you turn around and say, well, I can't comment on this after you just had him on your show probably over 24 times. So like, I'm questioning, if you get into that bed, if you get married to if your brother was then on your radio show every day, and then he committed a penalty that was egregious, and then he's just no longer on your show, is that cool to just have him only when it's good?
I know. I think that's a totally fair thing. I was reading to see if people were commenting.
But I'm glad you weren't listening.
They were commenting. Wait, people are commenting on Crystal Pepsi. People are still stuck on the Crystal Pepsi.
Right.
So please write in if you liked or disliked Crystal Pepsi. One time I went to play tennis and I stuck Crystal Pepsi in my water bottle to trick my mom and had terrible stomach pains after.
Really?
Yeah. Water. Good story. All right, there's a huge tabloid headline. It's everywhere today. It claims Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are dating, and that their Friends reunion special stirred up some feelings. If you don't remember, that's when we learned that the two had been crushing hard on each other back in the 90s. Let's take a look.
I mean, David?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the
first season.
Yeah, the first season, I had a major crush on Jen. I think we both.
It was reciprocal, is what she said. Sorry to burst your bubble. Turns out the story is not true. Kelly Schuberth is crying. At least according to David Schwimmer's reps, they really are on a break. But why is it that so many people love to read these tabloid headlines and a lot of us actually believe them? Could real-life stories of rekindled romance like J-Lo and Ben Affleck be part of it? Speaking of which, the two were out house hunting in Beverly Hills yesterday.
I was looking at that house.
You were? How was it at your house?
They came in as a cash buyer.
That's
I was
what
going
you were all
to pay for it over the course of 8,900 years.
TMZ reports that they looked at this gigantic mansion that costs $85 million. It has huge vaulted ceilings, a giant pool, a home gym, an indoor tennis court, and that's not enough. There's a massage room and a salon. So why do we believe these headlines that, like, Ross and Rachel are back? Is it just because, like, we like the chemistry and we live in Fairy Taleville?
I think there is a big contingent of people who do like to romanticize the past in some aspect, and if it's like, if Ben and Jen can get back together and figure it out, then maybe there's hope for me and so, you know? I think that it's just something about people want to be in other people's bedrooms so bad.
I think it's true. I also think they do have good chemistry. So when you see on camera... Why do you think that? Because I watched Friends, which I know you were an avid fan, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of someone on Friends?
Danny.
Danny
the neighbor.
Danny the neighbor is not on Friends. But if you did watch... Joey. Someone said that in your ear.
No, I swear to God. He had a spinoff show.
No, he didn't.
When he was older.
Yeah, he did. He did have a spinoff show. It wasn't successful. I'll simply say if you watched, Ross and Rachel do have good chemistry. And I think people like our chemistry on the show, and that's something why they watch us.
But that doesn't mean we're going to date.
Hell no.
What? Are you guys going to act like I'm not an incredible catch up here? I mean,
no, you're a great catch, brother. However, that is like terrifying. People make comments, and I'm like, do you understand?
It's weird.
It is weird.
People don't understand.
Brothers and sisters.
But I will say this about your youth. Like when you were young, no matter who you are, you have, it sounds depressing, but you have your whole life in front of you. And so that's why like you like music from that time, whatever SNL cast was on, that's the cast you like. That's when you're like, oh, that's when hip hop was real. It was when you were young.
Yeah.
And so now when you're older, you want to go back to that time and be like, I should have got with Erica. She had her locker right next. I should have said something.
Because
you're going back to that time.
Too bad, buddy.
There's someone she's talking to. She's talking to someone personally.
Ended up going to homecoming with Tori.
That's exactly it. Is there a couple in Hollywood? Wait, ouch.
I would love to go to homecoming with you. You would have been a fun date.
Thank you. Was there a couple in Hollywood you wish had gotten back together? I always hated that Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins broke up.
What? Did you come here on a time machine?
Wow.
What?
I was too busy reading my breakup note from my homecoming date, my freshman year in high school, on a Post-it on my locker.
Okay, we will talk about that during the break because that story cannot just sit there.
We will be discussing Post-it Gate. Please watch on YouTube or online. Coming up on DBL, a really cool couple, really cool, like they're from The Matrix on TikTok, is showing love to the LGBTQ community, how they're taking on the role of parents to millions who might feel alone. And this is a much-needed silver lining in the Delta variant surge. The new number of Americans going out to get their first vaccine dose is rising. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, and we are in a good mood here at Daily Blast Live. Erica, you got to tell us a story. You said someone broke up with you?
Yes.
A Post-it note?
Yes. So, my freshman year, there was this guy that I had a couple classes with. He was a really, really nice guy, and I knew that my parents were going to love him. So I actually asked him to homecoming because he wasn't going to go.
Yeah.
And he agreed to go with me. And then we ended up dating. And then after homecoming, like a week later, he put a Post-it note on my locker that said, "I'm sorry, I can't be your boyfriend anymore." And I'm like, okay, we're gonna run into each other in like for 3 classes. And we did. And I asked him, he's like, well, I'm sorry. And it was just like a weird thing. Well, my freshman year in college, and this is like when emails really people are doing this thing, right? He sends me this long email apologizing for the way that he broke up with me and how rude and inconsiderate he was. And I was like, kind of on a high horse, like, it's fine, I'm so over it. And here I am, 20 years later talking about it, like,
Still upset about it.
I have to tell you guys this. I had a boyfriend in 6th grade named Jeb. He lived behind me in the house behind me, and he invited me over because we'd always hang out. And my best friend Lauren, who was a good soccer player, we were 6th grade, and he said to us both, "I'm trying to do the right thing here, but I'm breaking up with you, Tori, and I'm going to be starting to date Lauren." And he just did it in front of us, if it like that was the better thing to do. And I've never forgiven him.
That was really honest.
I know it was honest, but like, anyway, Jeb and I are good buddies, and I bring it up to him constantly to this day. Wow. He's getting married, like Mazel Tov, but like, you broke my heart,
I wonder
Fredo.
where he got like
you broke my heart.
The emotional maturity.
DBL Nation, do you have any breakup stories? Let us know. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. Guess what?
What?
We got some good news to share. In the middle of this Delta variant surge we're all going through, turns out more people are starting to get vaccinated. Let's give a big round of applause to that.
Yay.
We're now averaging more than 700,000 vaccinations a day. That's the highest rate in more than a month. Meantime, more than 195 million Americans have now received at least one dose. I think this is fantastic. I do want to, not to bring us to Bummer Town, sorry, but in Florida and Texas right now, things are really going quite poorly. In Houston, there's now having tents at the hospital because they don't have enough room. And in Florida, this is some of these tents that you're seeing being put up in Houston. In Florida, they're now at their worst rate, higher than New York, when there wasn't even a vaccine readily available. That's where Florida is. So there's good news, but I also want, if you're a viewer from Florida or Texas, to write in to let us know what you think. Good news, what do you guys think? Erica?
I think it's a step in the right direction. You know, really, when I decided to get vaccinated, there were a lot of factors. One, I just did not want to miss out on my family and friends, which I was. But my anxiety level was so high the entire time before the vaccination.
Like fight or flight.
Right, because it's like you see, and then everything that happens, you're like, is this COVID? Am I shutting down production? Am I doing, you know, whatever? Like you're constantly having these things in your head. So I think for a lot of people, it's come down to peace of mind. And also, people are starting to say, don't come here if you can't show proof of vaccination.
That's exactly right. That mandate that I keep talking about is getting built in different places. What do you think, Al?
And I think she's right in terms of, like, there's also a personal mandate. There's one thing like you can't go to Walmart. There's another thing like you can't come to your niece's wedding. And I think when people start to get those mandates, they're like, I've built this identity for who I am on Facebook. I've argued with people. I've told people where to go with it and the government vaccination, and they feel like they're winning and they get their likes. But when they turn the computer off and they're starting to see themselves shut out from real life, shut off from real experiences, I think for some people it's worth it. They also are seeing that all the people that they followed are dying.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not saying that flippantly, I'm saying that they are. So all these people that have railed against the vaccine for 2-3 years, now on their deathbed giving these heartfelt I'm sorries and get the vaccine, maybe it's working.
I think so too. Pay attention to those people in the hospital saying, get the vaccine, I should have gotten the vaccine.
Or your doctor, you can pay attention to them.
That's true.
Who knows,
Thanks,
4
Al.
years undergrad, 4 years medical school.
You're ruining everything.
2 to 7 years of specialty, what would they know?
Are we done? We're done. Speaking of coronavirus, journalist Andrew Sullivan was on Anderson Cooper's show recently. He was arguing that we should all start getting used to living with coronavirus. Take a look.
We now know is a virus that transmits from vaccinated people. So we're going to have to live with this thing. We're going to have to be vaccinated consistently against it because it's not going away and it's going to be here. And the goal is not to pursue an illusory victory over the virus, but to learn how to live with it and actually live fully alongside it.
So that's what Coley is. Dr. Coley, she's our resident doctor here on the show, has said. Eventually, it's going to, we hope, almost to be like the cold or flu. You get a flu shot. It doesn't give you hospitalizations too much. What do you think, Erica?
I think it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
And especially the way that there is a major movement for anti-vax. So here we are.
It's in our future. I kind of thought we would get over this, like eradicate it, like smallpox, like
but
polio.
There was no internet. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, were there polio anti-vaxxers?
I know.
And how would they combat that now?
Right.
You know, because I don't think that we'll ever eradicate anything again because there is so much money to be made from being somebody that has questions.
I think
we've seen the last of eradicating anything.
Absolutely. Let us know what you guys think. Coming up on DBL, this really cool interview with its coolest TikTok. I want to be them. There's this TikTok couple who acts as an all-accepting family to comfort LGBTQ followers. It's so cool. That's next.
According to 2 new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, The Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. They share videos from the perspective of two loving, supportive parents with the swag of a Mafia movie couple. Earlier, we spoke with Lisa Brzezinski and Pope, yep, that's her name, about their unique support for the LGBTQ community that's gone viral. That's today's cool DBL Spotlight. Cool are they? Lisa and Pope, welcome to DBL. We just watched video from the day you pretended to adopt your TikTok followers, but shortly after that video, you had millions of people saying they wanted you to be their parents. I think this is amazing. You've been dubbed the Mafia family. Where did that name come from?
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did, and our followers actually, from honestly the way that we looked, they coined us the Mafia parents, and we didn't intend on anything related to the Mafia. We actually didn't even plan on it being a family.
Yeah.
And
we were just wearing our, date night outfits and all that.
How has this massive response affected your day-to-day life?
When we first did this video, we didn't think anything of it, and we posted it and we went for a walk. And I remember we came back inside and we were like, oh my gosh.
It was like millions by the day.
And it was
crazy.
Millions of followers every single day.
Yeah. And on a daily, we're kind of hermits, so we don't really notice. But when we do go out, we do get noticed a lot.
Everybody notices us at like Walmart and Target. We're like, oh yeah,
the grocery store randomly.
So ladies, a lot of your videos are point of view questions. This is great. So followers give you a situation and you act out as if you were their parents. These are a few of our favorites. Let's take a look. We're so proud of you. That's what it was saying. So what has been the craziest question you guys have received so far?
Well, we get literally millions. Honestly, probably the craziest one that we had was like, POV, I interrupt one of your Mafia meetings to let you know that I stole your car to go get some pizza.
People just get really detailed,
Could we come up with a situation and you guys act it out, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I find out that my friend Tori, my co-host, during the commercial breaks has been taking my phone and she's been responding to people. Now, she hasn't said anything bad, but I feel like that's a little bit of a violation. How do we talk to her in a way to let her know that I need my private space, but I do appreciate her trying to do what she thought was nice for me?
We'll just give you a look,
we wouldn't
and
say
she's
a
gonna
word.
know. Yeah,
we would be
wouldn't
like,
say one word.
we would literally do the
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I like it. All right, I want to get a little deep. You've created a community for real for LGBTQ kids to feel safe, supported. I know it's all kind of funny, but there's also this like community feel. What do you want the outside world to know about your Mafia family?
Honestly, our biggest takeaway was just that everybody needs a safe space.
Yeah.
And that a lot more people feel alone than we ever expected. We were blown away by how many people have reached out to us. Honestly, it's been thousands per day for the last year. And they just said, you made us feel like we have somebody finally. And, you know, that was very unexpected, but probably the most rewarding part of this whole experience. And if we could say anything to anyone, it's that everybody feels very alone and they need a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So,
and it's okay to be you, just exactly how you are. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Will you guys be my parents? Okay. To our DBL Nation.
Yes.
Yay! Join the family. I
They
can't
have
wait.
8 million.
All right.
So don't feel that special.
I find their favorite, though. To our DBL Nation, please join the family. Follow these ladies on TikTok at LKBphotography_. They're also on Instagram at LKBphotography or Pope the Barber. Lisa and Pope, thank you for joining DBL today. You made us all look cooler. We'll be right back.
thank you. Thanks for having us.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Some folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact-check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. I did not know that Crystal Pepsi would cause such a stir on our YouTube chat. What was your favorite, or do you still drink your favorite soft drink? Anyone have a favorite soft drink up here?
I'm going to go old school just because it reminds me of Cleveland, Ohio. A&W cream soda. Whoa. That's with the corned beef sandwich. It's a very local entree.
That's a very Jewish. Good with cream soda. That's a good one. Diet Pepsi or cherry Diet Pepsi.
Very nice.
Oh, that's random.
Classy, everyone.
What about you?
I am a cherry Coke.
All right.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Cherry Coke.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Alec Baldwin is facing backlash for defending Andrew Cuomo. Was his resignation really a result of cancel culture? In today's True Crime Chronicles, a man gets convicted of kidnapping and killing a federal agent.
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
Why is he free decades later? More Than Friends, the new rumor about Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer that has fans hoping for a real-life Ross and Rachel reunion. And TikTok trailblazers meet a couple who acts as an all-accepting family for millions of LGBTQ kids.
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, August 11th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. All right, so first and foremost, you're never going to believe who is defending New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned yesterday after being accused of sexually harassing nearly a dozen women. Well, that person? None other than Alec Baldwin. He called Cuomo's resignation a quote-unquote tragic day on Twitter, and he blamed cancel culture. Okay, Erica, is that just like the new excuse here? If you do something wrong, just blame it on cancel culture.
I find it very weird that Alec Baldwin is blaming things on cancel culture because Alec Baldwin seems like the least cancelable person out there. You know, he's done some things that has definitely brought scrutiny his way, and he's never been canceled. I'm with Al in the idea that you can't really cancel someone if they continue to have a supportive fan base.
Jeff, I've said it before. I said I want to start this right now on the show. I don't think cancel culture is a thing. You think about somebody like Tucker Carlson, who said some things that have, even just saying half of what he said, would have gotten your career ended. But he's still on TV every single night because he has the highest ratings of any cable show on television right now. He cannot be canceled. You know what's been canceled? Zima. Four Loko. Crystal Pepsi. Kramer. Those have been canceled because people did not like them. As long as you have fans of whatever your product is and people show up, there will be a place for you to sell your product. When there's no longer a place for that, like it appears for Governor Cuomo, former Governor Cuomo, that's when the cancel talk starts.
It's hard to follow that with a straight answer.
Shout out to Zima.
Shout out to Zima. Man, I have got some Zima stories of my own. But when you say cancel culture doesn't exist, I absolutely think it exists to a certain degree. There are people that are uncancelable, the Joe Rogans of the world, the Alec Baldwins. If you don't have social media, you're uncancelable. If the network doesn't care what the people are saying because you make them too much money, you're uncancelable. That's the bottom line. For people that are just hanger-ons or coming-ups, you're disposable, man, and the networks will let you go like that.
I think it depends. I'm a little bit in the middle between the two of you because you look at Chrissy Teigen.
Way to take a side step.
You want to make everybody happy. I'm wearing a yellow dress.
Just wait to hear what I have to say. Chrissy Teigen definitely has a huge fan base, so she's definitely not, in my opinion, one of the people that you say is coming up. I think she'd already been established. She lost her
commercials are still running.
Well, she lost her deals with Target. She lost.
For now. She's not erased.
She lost her contracts with a number of different networks. She lost a couple of different pilot deals that she had in the works. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of clout. So what my problem is if there is a cancel culture, and we can call it accountability culture, depending if that person deserves it, right? I think people need to have discernment. Some people deserve it. Some people are like the Anzine and Saris that get thrown into the mix. With this situation, it's taking away from when you are an Alec Baldwin saying, blame it on cancel culture. Well, guess what? Then the people that really should be canceled, all of a sudden that whole message gets diluted.
Absolutely.
So I'm more concerned about that. Am I still in the middle?
You're leaning, but I like it. I like what you had to say.
I had a strong point. Okay.
Says me.
Yes. Let's just go to commercial.
I'm the best.
No.
Let's move on.
No. I just wasn't wishy-washy is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's talk about Andrew Cuomo's brother, CNN host Chris Cuomo. They both used to appear together on his show. Well, Chris is on vacation this week and has not been reporting or commenting on his brother and the big scandal. But he is apparently still advising him. That's according to fellow CNN anchor Brian Stelter, who was on Stephen Colbert's show last night. Take a look.
I'll confirm it for your viewers. I also have a source that says Chris was on the phone with his brother this week.
Is your source Chris Cuomo?
He is not. If we open up the journalism ethics book, there's no page for this. It's the craziest set of circumstances you can imagine, right? A governor and a brother, both in these high-profile jobs. This was definitely awkward for CNN, though.
Sure.
I tried to go into this thinking, okay, if I was going to cover this at CBS, how would I cover it? And try to cover it the same way. And I talked to a lot of sources at CNN. Some said, yeah, this is really weird. I'm ticked off at Chris. Others said, you know, I understand. You can't pick who your family members are.
How would you handle this, Jeff?
First of all, I find it ironic in some sort of way because they were like a thing. The Cuomo brothers on their show, they were rising in the ratings. They were ripping on Trump every day from the right side to the left side or wherever it may be, right? Now he does something egregious or wrong and now he walks away from it. Now you can't continue your show. I find it weird that you want the other side canceled, going back to cancel culture, and not just using this as an example, but everyone wants that person canceled, right? I want you canceled. I want this person canceled. You don't need to be here anymore. And until it happens to them or someone on their side of their beliefs, then they don't want cancel culture. Then they're like, wait, this whole thing's getting out of control. And that's what's going on with Cuomo right now. He wants to distance himself. So if you think you're on social media and you have people that have your back and you're like, oh, everyone's got my back because I'm going to hate on this person. Let me tell you something. The moment you get canceled, everybody's jumping ship and you're out on your own. And that's what's happening to Cuomo right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens.
But is it different when it's your blood? It's your brother. What do you do? How do you handle it?
You make that decision when you decide to have your brother on your show for 3 months straight. When you decide to get rid of that separation of church and state, and you're like, we're going to have direct connection with the media and one side of a political party, when that side of that political party makes a mistake is caught doing something illegal, let's call it what it is, and all of a sudden you're on vacation, Erica, that's why people don't trust the media, because when it's time to be accountable, when you got all those ratings because your brother's the governor and everything's going down with COVID and everybody wants to hear what he has to say and everybody wants to hear him trash Trump, now when it's time for him to take accountability, you're on vacation, that doesn't fly with a lot of people, and it kills the credibility.
But what would you have him do for an ongoing investigation? Like, what would be the appropriate response for him to come on and say? I mean, it is an ongoing, open investigation. I just think at the end of the day, you cannot choose your family, and I think that this is something that a lot of people will be thinking about. I mean, this is like, not to conflate the two, it's a tiny microcosm, but when I was doing morning radio in Chicago and my brother was the captain of the Northwestern football team, like, it's not like we were huge celebrities, but I'm like, people are watching us and we need to be so careful. And we were each other's accountability partners for everything. And we were young, like we'd go to nightclubs and, you know, be crazy and whatever. But I was like, this is so important that we do not tarnish what our parents have been able to build and now we're expounding on. So this is something that a lot of people consider when you have a lot of things going on in a family.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for sure. Okay, so we got to speak about another big headline that our viewers right now are also talking about. It is everywhere today. It claims Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are dating and that their Friends reunion special stirred up feelings. If you don't remember, that's when we all learned that the two had been crushing hard on each other back in the 90s. Take a look.
I had a major crush on Jen. I think we both, at some point, we were both crushing hard on each other, but it was like two ships passing because one of us was always in a relationship. So, and we never crossed that boundary. You know, we respected that, but we both.
So sorry to burst your bubble, but turns out this story is not true, at least according to David Schwimmer's reps. They really are on a break. But why is it that so many people love to read these tabloid headlines and a lot of us actually believe them? Why do you think, Al?
Because everybody wants to go back to, it sounds depressing, but when we all had hope. When we were young. When you're young.
When we were sipping on a Zima.
When you're sipping on a Zima, sitting on your boy's the trunk of his car, talking about what you're going to do with your life, where you're going to move to, where you're going to go. There, you can't get that. Even when you make it, you still want to go back to that period, and especially whoever you dated, you romanticize that relationship. That's what I think.
That's why, are we surprised? That's why fan fiction is such a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever dabbled into fan fiction, but like so fan fiction, because Erica's looking at me like, what like that? So fan fiction, if you're a fan of Twilight, if you're stop it. If you're a fan of Twilight, for example, you can go on sites and read fan fiction where fans will actually create an alternate universe where like Jacob and Bella were together instead of Edward and Bella. Or Harry from Harry Potter and Hermione. Yeah, exactly. I'm into it. I read fan fiction, or at least I used to. I can't. Stop it right now. You know you would read fan fiction if like LeBron James and Janet Jackson were a thing.
LeBron James and Janet Jackson?
Yeah, but fan fiction, it doesn't matter. Harry Potter was never with Hermione.
Yeah, but fiction means they're not real.
No, fan fiction means a fan is creating fiction. A fan is creating fiction.
You can't do that with like someone who's married.
Yes, you can.
No.
What if someone made a fan fiction with you and Al?
Over here. Coming up on DBL, Beyonce opens up about setting boundaries, what she's focusing on as she gets ready to turn 40. And a really cool couple on TikTok is showing love to the LGBTQ community, how they're taking on the role of parents to millions who might feel alone. Plus, is this a much-needed silver lining in the Delta variant surge? The new numbers of Americans going out to get their first vaccine dose.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us today. Let's go to the desk and continue the conversation.
Tell people about fan fiction.
So Lydia, who's behind the camera, just told me that 50 Shades of Grey started
as fan fiction.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I knew that.
You
Yeah.
did?
That's why it's so bad. That's why it is absolutely so bad. It was supposed to be like a completely deviant relationship applied to Twilight. So that's exactly where 50 Shades came from. And if you ever want to look into any sort of fan fiction, it's quite tantalizing.
Is it like a romance novel? Like people love those old Fabio romance novels.
Whatever you want. If you really have
Is
a
it
thing.
choose your own adventure?
If you really, well, there's so many choices. Like if you want to see Edward, if you had a thing for Edward from then you can go and see Edward in any way, shape,
Somebody
or
just
form.
showed their card.
Yeah. Now I have a question with fan fiction. Now, what if I never want to read
which
that
one's
and enjoy
Edward?
my life?
The tall,
If I would
like
just
the
want to enjoy
pale
my
one?
life and not read that?
You don't have to.
What?
Okay. Can I be honest and say something?
What? Sounds good. Juicy?
Nah, I don't know.
Robert
if I say it on camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We gotta talk it off.
Yeah, and then I might tell you guys.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm gonna be a
Taylor
hypocrite.
Lautner.
Yeah,
What happened
Jacob.
to Taylor Lautner?
He's like one of those guys that got huge off Twilight and then never did anything else.
Do you think he's loaded though?
Yeah,
Depending on his contracts?
I need everyone to turn off their
What is
phone.
that?
I need you to turn off your phone, please.
Is it
I
ringing?
can't wait.
No, they're doing a nationwide.
Oh, okay. Turn off our phone.
Wait, mine's
We
okay.
tell you, so FEMA is actually doing a national emergency test today. So we're all checking to make sure our phones are turned off because actually you can't have that sound go out over the television. So we have to make sure we all turn our phones off. Boop, it's off. You don't have to turn yours off, but just a heads up, it's coming here in about 7 minutes. So be ready for that alert on your phone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. We've got some good news to share. In the middle of this Delta variant surge we're all going through, that turns out that more people are starting to get vaccinated. We're now averaging more than 700,000 vaccinations a day. That's the highest rate in more than a month. And meantime, more than 195 million Americans have now received at least one dose. I really hope that we continue to see people get vaccinated. I want everybody to get back to normal. Of course, start at the top. We want people's lives to be saved. But you brought up a really good point like a week ago where you said people missing their prom. Please continue on that because I think we forget about that.
Well, I just hope, I think people have gotten used to trying to win and own the libs or own the Republicans and win online. But when you log off of your computer and your daughter is dancing virtually at her prom, that doesn't feel like a win. When you're not going to have any pictures of first day going to third grade, that doesn't feel like a win. And I think people are sick and tired of missing milestones because you can't get these back. So I hope that people are done with this so we can move on. I don't care who wins. I don't care how we remember this. I just want to be able to have a picnic indoors if we need to with my friends and family.
Yeah, man, I think we're getting to a point where we're like, listen, we tried to incentivize you. We tried to tell you. We tried to educate you. Now you just can't come to the party, so to speak, right?
It's changed. More people are getting vaccinated.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we're saying like, all right, we're giving up. We're going to move on with people who are vaccinated. And now people are like, well, they're going to leave. The train's about to leave. I better just get vaccinated. You could try and incentivize people, pay people. But once the train leaves the station, they're like, I want to be on it. So like you said, once they log offline, they're like, wait, this is reality. I might as well go ahead and get vaccinated. But like I said, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you definitely aren't.
Yeah, I think a big push might have been the fact that we see California and New York going in the way of you can't come here without proof of vaccination. And now when we get digitized, that's going to be even more severe for the people who decided to just go ahead and make their own vaccination cards. So yeah, I do think that there's an issue with people not wanting to be left behind. And ultimately, that is a really great incentive to not be left behind. Nobody thought of that, did we?
No, we all like to be part of the club.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you made it feel like, switching gears here, that like fan fiction is ridiculous. You close your eyes. I just found out that Al has won a contest for best fan fiction.
I didn't know
he's written fan fiction.
I didn't know what it was until I'd already entered it. It was a writing contest.
You didn't know what it was?
I just thought it was a writing contest. I like to write.
Okay, we're going to talk about this in the next block because how dare you? Coming up on DBL, our interview with a TikTok couple who acts as an all-accepting family to comfort LGBTQ followers. That is coming up next.
to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. They share videos from the perspective of two loving, supportive parents with the swag of a Mafia movie couple. Earlier, we spoke with Lisa Brzezinski and Pope about their unique support for the LGBTQ community that has gone viral. That's today's DBL Spotlight. Cool are they? Lisa and Pope, welcome to DBL. We just watched video from the day you pretended to adopt your TikTok followers, but shortly after that video, you had millions of people saying they wanted you to be their parents. I think this is amazing. You've been dubbed the Mafia family. Where did that name come from?
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did, and our followers actually from, honestly, the way that we looked, they coined us the Mafia parents, and we didn't intend on anything related to the Mafia. We actually didn't even plan on it being a family.
Yeah.
And
we were just wearing our, date night outfits and all that.
How has this massive response affected your day-to-day life?
when we first did this video, we didn't think anything of it, and we posted it and we went for a walk. And I remember we came back inside and we were like, oh my gosh.
It was like millions by the day.
And it was
crazy.
Millions of followers every single day.
Yeah. And on a daily, we're kind of hermits, you know, so we don't really notice. But when we do go out, we do get noticed a lot.
Everybody notices us at like Walmart and Target. And we're like, oh yeah,
the grocery store randomly.
So ladies, a lot of your videos are point of view questions. This is great. So followers give you a situation and you act out as if you were their parents. These are a few of our favorites. Let's take a look. We're so proud of you. That's what it was saying. So what has been the craziest question you guys have received so far?
Well, we get literally millions. Honestly, probably the craziest one that we had was like, POV, I interrupt one of your Mafia meetings to let you know that I stole your car to go get some pizza.
People just get really detailed, you know.
Could we come up with a situation and you guys act it out maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I find out that my friend Tori, my co-host, during the commercial breaks has been taking my phone and she's been responding to people. Now, she hasn't said anything bad, but I feel like that's a little bit of a violation. How do we talk to her in a way to let her know that I need my private space, but I do appreciate her trying to do what she thought was nice for me?
We'll just give you a look,
we wouldn't
and
say
she's
a
gonna
word.
know. Yeah,
we would be
wouldn't
like,
say one word.
we would literally do the
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I
love
like it. All right, I want to get a little deep. You've created a community for real for LGBTQ kids to feel safe, supported. I know it's all kind of funny, but there's also this like community feel. What do you want the outside world to know about your Mafia family?
Honestly, our biggest takeaway was just that everybody needs a safe space.
Yeah.
And that a lot more people feel alone than we ever expected. We were blown away by how many people have reached out to us. Honestly, it's been thousands per day for the last year. And they just said, you made us feel like we have somebody finally. And, you know, that was very unexpected, but probably the most rewarding part of this whole experience. And if we could say anything to anyone, it's that everybody feels very alone and they need a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So,
and it's okay to be you, just exactly how you are. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Will you guys be my parents? Okay. To our DBL Nation.
Yes.
Yay! Join the family. I
They
can't
have
wait.
8 million.
All right.
So don't feel that special.
I'm their favorite, though. To our DBL Nation, please join the family. Follow these ladies on TikTok at LKBphotography_. They're also on Instagram at LKBphotography or Pope the Barber. Lisa and Pope, thank you for joining DBL today. You made us all look cooler. We'll be right back.
thank you. Thanks for having us.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Some folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
A lot of our viewers are calling Al out. So let me just pull back the curtain. After we talked about fan fiction and Al pretended to be not interested and sleeping, he turned, as soon as we went, the cameras were off, he turned over and goes, so I won a contest for writing fan fiction.
I didn't know that that's what it was.
Right.
I swear. Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
But it was good. I would never do it again, but it was good.
And you won?
I won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably juicy.
It was. Let us never speak of it again.
Okay. Wow. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Halle Berry is opening up about ageism. Is Hollywood changing for the better when it comes to roles for women? And Beyonce is reflecting on life as she gets ready to turn 40. The major lessons she has learned in her 20s and 30s.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started with Beyonce. Oh my gosh, she's opening up about the pressure to be Beyonce in the new edition of Harper's Bazaar. There she is, looking fierce. Beyonce reflects on her life as she gets ready to turn 40 next month. And like many women, she feels the pressure of being the backbone of her family. In the interview, she said, quote, "I've not always made myself a priority. I've struggled personally with insomnia from touring for more than half of my life. I know that to give the best of me, I have to take care of myself and listen to my body." Beyonce said she's focusing more on her mental health and is even building a hemp and honey farm on her property. And she actually has beehives on her roof. What do you think, Erica? I know.
Oh, thank God.
She's
Thank God you released us all, because I used to have this mug that said, if Beyonce has 24 hours, let me make sure that I use my 24 hours. And I just felt like I was never measuring up, and to find out that she's actually human is such a relief. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Beyonce, we needed this. We all did.
We did.
Because we have this boss girl mentality, and you know, the idea is like you keep going, like look at what these people are able to do, and it's an impossible standard to reach or maintain at that. And I think a lot of people are running themselves raggedy and really sacrificing their mental health with the hope that they can create this major empire. And what she's saying, and is illustrated so beautifully, basically in the past decade is you need to compartmentalize your life and be on for the sections of your life when you can and are willing to be on. And I think that's very freeing. I think a lot of people need to hear that message.
I don't know if I told you this, Erica, but I was sitting on a couch doing a show in Boise, Idaho, and they gave you like an Airbnb. I was on this couch with tears running down my face, watching her documentary about how she prepared for her concert.
The one in Coachella?
Right.
Oh,
and
yes.
Jeff, the way she pushed herself.
After having kids?
Yes, like almost to death. Literally almost pushed herself to death. And I was crying because, first of all, as an entertainer, I could understand objectively how hard she was working, but I still couldn't. But also, like, I felt guilty that no one should work this hard for my entertainment. And to see somebody push themselves and just knowing that that wasn't just one snippet of her life, that's how she's always done it. You gotta throttle down to second gear. You cannot push your car into the red because that's not how engines work. You are going to burn out, and we've seen it with celebrities, professionals, anybody, you burn out.
Absolutely. I just find it refreshing that someone of her status, like probably the most recognizable person on the planet, still has insecurities about being a parent, wanting their kids to do better, right? And everyone could relate to that. So I find it refreshing that she still has that, to go to that level, like you were saying, where the thing's at, and throttle down and say, I'm just a parent. I'm not Beyonce. This isn't Jay-Z. We're parents, and I think that's great.
And I love, too, as a parent, what she's teaching Blue Ivy. And if you read the article, she says that since she's been recently adopting this, she's seen it trickle down into Blue Ivy's mental state. And she saw Blue Ivy, I guess, I don't know if they have an outdoor hot tub or a bathtub, but she said she saw Blue Ivy outside laying down in the tub with her eyes closed, taking a mental moment for herself. And Blue Ivy had no idea that Beyonce was watching her, but she knew right then and there, wow, what I am doing is actually going to save my daughter one day. So I think that's a really great lesson for all of us to remember as well. All right, so speaking of fierce women, Halle Berry says
Cleveland.
Says Hollywood's attitudes towards older women may be changing. So for the first time, Halle is starring in and directing a new Netflix movie called Bruised, where she plays an MMA fighter. Look at her, you guys. Wow. Named Jackie Justice. She told Entertainment Weekly that back in the day, when women in Hollywood turned 40, they were done, like really done. Or they had to wait until they were old enough to play a grandma. She added the fact she is playing an MMA fighter at 54 is proof that things must be changing. What do you think of this, Erica?
Man, y'all look at Halle Berry.
I know.
Look at her. I mean, she's 54, looking like that. She is mopping the floor with these 20-somethings, okay? Mm-hmm. If she was a 20-something, she would present as a fetus. This woman looks amazing. Honestly, she looks amazing. But I do agree. I think that the narrative has definitely shifted. People are taking better care of themselves, and we see these situations a lot. But I also think it applies to not just Hollywood. We have gotten out of this weird place that we had been in for a really long time, and we're starting to, I don't know, appreciate wisdom and experience, right. Not necessarily the look of youth, because now you see the look of youth with wisdom and experience all encompassed into Halle Berry's 54-year-old body, and it's like, right, girl, right.
You see how ripped she was?
She looks amazing.
Do you think things are changing?
Absolutely, they're changing. But where's the pushback from the same people pushing back to people saying, you're not this person in real life, so how could you do this? An MMA fighter's career prime time is 25 to 35. She's 54. Did she take a part from a 25 to 35-year-old actress that could have played this part? Where's the pushback for that?
That's interesting.
We over here playing devil's advocate.
Well, listen, we can't just all.
That's interesting.
We can't just all agree on every story. Halle Berry looks great. Let's move on.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Well, you could say if you want to play devil's advocate. I don't think there's pushback when it comes to a 25 to 34-year-old age range.
If you're in a wheelchair and you're not paralyzed, people push you back.
But a disability is different, in my opinion. I think completely different.
I'm just picking one. People complain about everything. I'm picking ageism. Is that a good one? Good enough one for you?
Ageism is a really good one, but that typically applies for older women missing out on roles. And so good for her for being able to take a younger role, because
I think we never see that here. We grew up on TV shows where 39-year-olds were playing sophomores in high school. What y'all talking about?
But we didn't grow up in this culture. right? Nobody cared. But I don't care. I really don't. Right. I'm just saying, where's the pushback?
But I don't. There might be. To Jeff's point, there's always someone.
Right.
I think there's things that we're missing here, because I think there's more than just like, her age, what's factoring in this. First of all, you've watched MMA for a long time, as have I. I remember when women first started fighting, people just didn't like the idea of women punching each other in the face. Now we've gotten used to that through Ronda Rousey, where they are now household names. So now people are used to MMA. Now we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, tons of streaming platforms that need content. The way that you drive content is with names. So now you have a name with Halle Berry that you could get where you probably couldn't get her at 27 because she was beholden to 6 other roles. Now you can get these big names.
Yeah, but her roles would have been different back then too, to Erica's point. Back then, those roles went to more of like, it was more the physicality of the woman, youth, and that's what was sold. Now there's so many more well-written roles.
But what about G.I. Jane?
What about G.I. Jane?
She, who's the
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore played that, and she got ripped for that.
She looked fantastic.
Yes, she was in shape. She was older.
That's one role compared to probably millions and millions over the last 3 decades that were offered to women.
But I'm saying we're going to see more and more of this because the culture has evolved.
Yes.
In every aspect. That's
the moral of the story is, could we let actors act and do their job?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That was all I was saying.
That's the takeaway.
That was the takeaway. Just shut up and watch the movie. That's all. That's the takeaway.
That's actually the tagline for the movie.
So he's now been named as the official new host of Jeopardy. Who is?
Me?
Mike Richards.
Oh.
Yep. Mike, who is also Jeopardy's executive producer, has been taking some heat over his involvement in a couple of discrimination lawsuits that were filed a decade ago. While he was a producer on The Price is Right, Mike addressed the allegations in a statement to staff earlier this week. And former Blossom star Mayim Bialik will also host a series of primetime Jeopardy spinoffs like the National College Championship. Okay, Erica is the Jeopardy. Okay, look, just explain your face. What's going on?
Why is, unless Mayim wanted to do the little ancillary things around the show, why is she playing second fiddle to this dude? Isn't she like a neuroscience?
Brain scientist.
The thing about Alex Trebek was not only that he was, someone that you trusted. We actually believed that he knew the answers before he ever looked at the answers. We believed that. Did he? Probably, I don't know.
Does Mike Richards? Does Mike Richards?
But I don't get that same feeling from Mike Richards. I'm just being real honest. Like, he's going to find out when we find out.
Erica, big question. Are you still going to watch religiously?
No. I've actually fallen off since Alex died.
Wow.
Interesting.
Jeff, what do you think? Because we didn't get to hear you, because we talked about this on Monday. You weren't here. What do you think about Mike, the executive producer, now being the host of the show?
Interesting.
Do you like it? Do you feel like he's taking advantage of his role, even though he claims it was not his decision?
I don't know. I would have went with a name like Alec, or like Alec. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Like Al just said. I would have went with a more known name, perhaps. Like Mayim. What's her name?
Mayim.
Bialik.
Or LeVar Burton was up for it.
No, I don't know LeVar Burton.
Reading Rainbow.
Who's that?
The black dude from Star Trek with the thing over his eyes?
Reading Rainbow. You know Reading Rainbow.
I don't know Reading Rainbow.
Of course
you know Reading Rainbow. What's wrong with you?
Did I just get canceled?
Yeah, Jeff got canceled over Reading Rainbow.
Oh, man.
He knows.
I'm going down. After explaining to my kids, I went down for Reading Rainbow.
He knows Reading Rainbow.
You're not going to eat tonight, guys.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay, Jeff.
How about an introduction? Hi, I'm Jeff.
Yes.
Tiffany. Tiffany? No, I haven't.
Oh,
Okay, here, can I have the camera, Tiffany? We're going to put the camera on you.
Well, first let's ask her if she's comfortable.
Okay.
Tiffany, are you comfortable shaking hands?
Yeah,
I just got a COVID test yesterday because people got scared. I too now.
Okay.
Tiffany, welcome to the DBL team.
Thank you.
How do you like it so far?
I love it. You guys are great. And you look great in that yellow leather. Thank you. Yeah,
Did you start Monday?
Yes.
Yeah, I was off.
Okay, can you give us a little of your background? Where'd you go to college?
Yes, I went to Westchester University, Rams up, hey. Back in PA, moved to Denver 2019.
Just been out here recently.
You like it?
It's all right.
All right, we gotta get her acclimated.
Yeah, it's all right. Maybe I'm not in the right places. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
you also moved right before the
moving here. Yeah, moving to Denver was an adjustment for me.
Yeah.
But I think you start to learn like where your things are, people, like-minded people.
It's amazing. You'll definitely find it. If you have any questions.
This
is the one?
Ask Erica.
Tiffany also moved here right before the pandemic. I mean, you moved here in 2019, just a handful of months before everything shut down, so you haven't really had the opportunity to go out there and explore.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll do a lot of exploring.
Yes.
Especially here, so.
Yeah, and Erica
Welcome
now.
aboard.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yeah, nice to meet you.
And we all think that Jeff definitely knows what Reading Rainbow is. He just has to connect the dots.
How about a video?
It was.
All of our phones are turned off.
It was like was it PBS?
Let me see a video of this thing.
Yeah, it was like.
I'm gonna go check out this video.
Welcome back to DBL. It was a heinous crime that still haunts 2 counties in Texas. The shocking abduction and killing of a U.S. border inspector. Today on True Crime Chronicles, we're asking, how did this happen?
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
It is still a wound for this whole community. He has not been forgotten.
It's January 27th, 1984, in Del Rio, Texas. U.S. Customs Inspector Richard Latham arrives for his shift that afternoon, relieving Port Inspector Mike Perez. Latham stops a car to conduct a routine search of the vehicle. Inside are 4 men attempting to cross the border.
The only thing he did to those 4 guys was he went to work that day. That's all he did.
As he searches the car, Latham discovers a bag of jewelry hidden under the seat. In seconds, the men force Latham into the car at gunpoint. There are no security cameras or witnesses to record the abduction.
You got to remember there was no cameras back then. They had kind of figured out that he had been taken, he'd actually been kidnapped.
News reaches border officials that Latham may be in grave danger. They learn that the 4 men traveling inside the car are wanted for a jewelry store heist in Mexico. Their search for Latham intensifies, desperate to find him before it's too late. But their efforts are in vain. On the morning of January 28th, officers find Latham's body left in a ditch off Highway 277. There is no sign of the killers.
But they made an informed decision to kill him. That's on record, that's from their own testimony.
A manhunt ensues for the 4 men. When DPS tracks down 2 of the suspected killers, one of the men, Jesus Ramirez, takes his own life. The other, Rafael Calderon Velasquez, surrenders to the officers. In his confession, Rafael accuses Jesus Ramirez of the murder. Officials apprehend the remaining 2 suspects weeks later. Giving full confessions, they recount the gruesome details of that night. After his abduction, the killers restrained Latham with his own handcuffs. But it's what the suspects tell investigators next that sends chills down their spines.
Talked about it when he could hear it. He's listening to them plan his death. Knowing Richard, it was really no threat to those guys.
Using Latham's service weapon, one of the men shot twice into the inspector's back, killing him. However, the 2 suspects point their fingers at Rafael, accusing him, not Jesus Ramirez, of killing Inspector Latham. Rafael pleads guilty to murder, and he receives a life sentence. For 36 years, Rafael lives his days and nights locked up in a federal prison in Indiana. That is until August 2020. Officials fly Rafael back to Del Rio. The Texas Department of Corrections confirms he was issued state parole in 2008. The Federal Bureau of Prisons refuses to explain why he was released.
His killer was supposed to spend his lifetime in prison, and Richard Latham didn't get that lifetime. He didn't get to walk his daughters down the aisle. He didn't get to rock his grandbabies to sleep. Rafael Calderon Velasquez took that away from him. They want for their father's legacy to be remembered, for his sacrifice to not have been for nothing.
Upon landing in Del Rio, Texas Rangers escort Rafael past a chain of border agents. A silent show of unity for one of their own, brutally gunned down in the line of duty.
We're in the third generation now, and they're still doing everything they can to keep his memory alive and to make sure justice is served.
Wow, and it's so sick that this man is walking free with just an ankle monitor. We couldn't believe it. So earlier we talked with Vanessa Croy, a reporter in Texas who covered this story.
Vanessa, thank you so much for being here. First off, how in the heck did this man get paroled? We are shaking our heads here. We've talked about it before this interview. How has this happened?
Well, guys, remember, that is a question that the family has been asking all along, and that's why they initially reached out to me to find out why this man was being released after killing their father, who is also a federal agent. You know, he was an inspector there at the International Bridge in Del Rio, but he was a federal agent. And so that is a question everybody wants to know the answer to. The family, in fact, found out about this from the local law enforcement and the Texas Rangers, who actually went to Indiana to pick up Calderon Velasquez when he was released from the federal prison. So it was just a heartbreaking kind of slap in the face to this family.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, the family is shocked and why they haven't heard why he was released. So why aren't officials saying anything about his release?
Well, and guys, that's another question that I could not answer during the story. So we do know that he was granted state parole back in, I believe, 2008, which, once again, another question, we don't even know why that happened.
Right.
The family did not get a chance to present their case to the Federal Bureau of Prisons to say why they did not want him released. I mean, once again, it goes back. He is accused and convicted of killing a federal agent.
That's what I can't get over, that this is such a federal crime, and I'm wondering what you just said kind of asks my next question. Has the Latham family been able to at least try to get him back behind bars? Are they not even being asked or invited to parole hearings? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No, not these recent parole hearings. I know they were involved previously over the years to present their case and speak about their father, who, you know, we have to remember, too, they want to keep their father's legacy alive, you know, to make sure that his sacrifice never goes unnoticed. And it's interesting to note, too, that when I spoke with Sharon Ansick and the other individual, Mike Perez, in the story, they said this case is still discussed in training for CBP officers now because they don't want his legacy to be forgotten and his sacrifice, and also to remember the dangers that these agents walk into every day on this job. You know, the technology is so advanced now and security is so advanced than it was back in 1984, but still these agents are putting their lives on the line every day to protect our border.
Vanessa, you talk about the technology. Is anyone tracking him? Like, how do we keep tabs on this man?
Well, and as far as we know, he is under probation. He is he's on parole, and probation in El Paso. We've heard that he's wearing an ankle monitor. I wasn't able to actually confirm that because the probation office wasn't able to speak with us on camera. We had to reach out to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and we weren't able to get any answers from them.
All right, good. Great job on keeping up on that. We're covering the broad strokes here, but trust me, there's so much more to it. If you'd like to get those details, go to kens5.com. We've also covered Inspector Latham's murder on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find online too. Vanessa, thank you for keeping this in the public's eye. We really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you guys, and I can say on behalf of the family, they appreciate you guys bringing this story and keeping his legacy alive to a larger audience today. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
According to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. Can you remember your childhood best friend? Well, it's unlikely this 2-year-old will ever forget his. Take a look at these neighbors who struck up an unlikely friendship during the pandemic.
These best friends have a 98-year age gap. 2-year-old Benjamin Olsen lives next door to Mary O'Neill, who's just shy of 100. They were both confined to their homes during the pandemic. The isolation was difficult, but then they found each other from across the fence. Benjamin would kick his ball to Mary, who'd hit it back with her cane. Mary gave Benjamin her late son's old Tonka trucks. Mary lost her husband 37 years ago, and her grandchildren and great-grandchildren all live in different states. So Benjamin and his little brother's company is a special blessing.
You're the closest thing to grandchildren I have around here.
It's enough to bring tears to the eyes of Benjamin's mom.
I'm so happy they have each other.
All the feels. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
Welcome back to DBL. Lots of you commenting on Jeff and Reading Rainbow.
Okay.
So, do you remember it?
I know the vision. I went over there. I know the guy. I know the picture. But I never went over there to the box with the pictures on it. And I don't know that show.
You don't?
No.
You might have been playing.
Maybe that's part of the reason I can't spell.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.
I was more of a podcast rainbow guy.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Alec Baldwin is facing backlash for defending Andrew Cuomo. Was his resignation really a result of cancel culture? In today's True Crime Chronicles, a man gets convicted of kidnapping and killing a federal agent.
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
Why is he free decades later? More than friends, the new rumor about Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer that has fans hoping for a real-life Ross and Rachel reunion. And TikTok trailblazers meet a couple who acts as an all-accepting family for millions of LGBTQ kids.
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, August 11th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. All right, so first and foremost, you're never going to believe who is defending New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned yesterday after being accused of sexually harassing nearly a dozen women. Well, that person? None other than Alec Baldwin. He called Cuomo's resignation a quote-unquote tragic day on Twitter, and he blamed cancel culture. Okay, Erica, is that just like the new excuse here? If you do something wrong, just blame it on cancel culture.
I find it very weird that Alec Baldwin is blaming things on cancel culture because Alec Baldwin seems like the least cancelable person out there. You know, he's done some things that has definitely brought scrutiny his way, and he's never been canceled. I'm with Al in the idea that you can't really cancel someone if they continue to have a supportive fan base.
Jeff, I've said it before. I said I want to start this right now on the show. I don't think cancel culture is a thing. You think about somebody like Tucker Carlson, who said some things that have, even just saying half of what he said, would have gotten your career ended. But he's still on TV every single night because he has the highest ratings of any cable show on television right now. He cannot be canceled. You know what's been canceled? Zima. Four Loko. Crystal Pepsi, Kramer. Those have been canceled because people did not like them. As long as you have fans of whatever your product is, and people show up, there will be a place for you to sell your product. When there's no longer a place for that, like it appears for Governor Cuomo, former Governor Cuomo, that's when the cancel talk starts.
It's hard to follow that with a straight answer.
Shout out to Zima.
Shout out to Zima. Man, I have got some Zima stories of my own. But when you say cancel culture doesn't exist, I absolutely think it exists to a certain degree. There are people that are uncancelable, the Joe Rogans of the world, the Alec Baldwins. If you don't have social media, you're uncancelable. If the network doesn't care what the people are saying because you make them too much money, you're uncancelable. That's the bottom line. For people that are just hanger-ons or coming-ups, you're disposable, man, and the networks will let you go like that.
I think it depends. I'm a little bit in the middle between the two of you because you look at Chrissy Teigen.
Way to take a side step.
I want to make everybody happy. I'm wearing a yellow dress.
Just wait to hear what I have to say. Chrissy Teigen definitely has a huge fan base, so she's definitely not, in my opinion, one of the people that you say is coming up. I think she'd already been established. She lost her
commercials are still running.
Well, she lost her deals with Target. She lost.
For now. She's not erased.
She lost her contracts with a number of different networks. She lost a couple of different pilot deals that she had in the works. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of clout. So what my problem is if there is a cancel culture, and we can call it accountability culture, depending if that person deserves it, right? I think people need to have discernment. Some people deserve it. Some people are like the Anzine Ansaris that get thrown into the mix. With this situation, it's taking away from when you are an Alec Baldwin saying, blame it on cancel culture. Well, guess what? Then the people that really should be canceled, all of a sudden that whole message gets diluted.
Absolutely.
So I'm more concerned about that. Am I still in the middle?
Hey, lean in, but I like it. I like what you had to say.
I had a strong point. Okay.
Says me.
Yes. Let's just go to commercial.
I'm the best.
No.
Let's move on.
No. I just wasn't wishy-washy is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's talk about Andrew Cuomo's brother, CNN host Chris Cuomo. They both used to appear together on his show. Well, Chris is on vacation this week and has not been reporting or commenting on his brother and the big scandal. But he is apparently still advising him. That's according to fellow CNN anchor Brian Stelter, who was on Stephen Colbert's show last night. Take a look.
I'll confirm it for your viewers. I also have a source that says Chris was on the phone with his brother this week.
Is your source Chris Cuomo?
He is not. If we open up the journalism ethics book, there's no page for this. It's the craziest set of circumstances you can imagine, right? A governor and a brother, both in these high-profile jobs. This was definitely awkward for CNN, though. Sure. I tried to go into this thinking, okay, if I was going to cover this at CBS, how would I cover it? And try to cover it the same way. And I talked to a lot of sources at CNN. Some said, yeah, this is really weird. I'm ticked off at Chris. Others said, you know, I understand. You can't pick who your family members are.
How would you handle this, Jeff?
First of all, I find it ironic in some sort of way because they were like a thing. The Cuomo brothers on their show, they were rising in the ratings. They were ripping on Trump every day from the right side to the left side or whatever it may be, right? Now he does something egregious or wrong and now he walks away from it. Now you can't continue your show. I find it weird that you want the other side canceled, going back to cancel culture and not just using this as an example, but everyone wants that person canceled, right? I want you canceled. I want this person canceled. You don't need to be here anymore. And until it happens to them or someone on their side of their beliefs, then they don't want cancel culture. Then they're like, wait, this whole thing's getting out of control. And that's what's going on with Cuomo right now. He wants to distance himself. So if you think you're on social media and you have people that have your back and you're like, oh, everyone's got my back because I'm going to hate on this person. Let me tell you something. The moment you get canceled, everybody's jumping ship and you're out on your own. And that's what's happening to Cuomo right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens.
But is it different when it's your blood? It's your brother. What do you do? How do you handle it?
You make that decision when you decide to have your brother on your show for 3 months straight. When you decide to get rid of that separation of church and state, and you're like, we're going to have direct connection with the media and one side of a political party, when that side of that political party makes a mistake is caught doing something illegal, let's call it what it is, and all of a sudden you're on vacation, Erica, that's why people don't trust the media, because when it's time to be accountable, when you got all those ratings because your brother's the governor and everything's going down with COVID and everybody wants to hear what he has to say and everybody wants to hear him trash Trump, now when it's time for him to take accountability, you're on vacation, that doesn't fly with a lot of people, and it kills the credibility.
But what would you have him do for an ongoing investigation? Like, what would be the appropriate response for him to come on and say? I mean, it is an ongoing, open investigation. I just think at the end of the day, you cannot choose your family, and I think that this is something that a lot of people will be thinking about. I mean, this is like, not to conflate the two, it's a tiny microcosm, but when I was doing morning radio in Chicago and my brother was the captain of the Northwestern football team, like, it's not like we were huge celebrities, but I'm like, people are watching us and we need to be so careful. And we were each other's accountability partners for everything. And we were young, like we'd go to nightclubs and, you know, be crazy and whatever. But I was like, this is so important that we do not tarnish what our parents have been able to build and now we're expounding on. So this is something that a lot of people consider when you have a lot of things going on in a family.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for sure. Okay, so we got to speak about another big headline that our viewers right now are also talking about. It is everywhere today. It claims Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are dating and that their Friends reunion special stirred up feelings. If you don't remember, that's when we all learned that the two had been crushing hard on each other back in the 90s. Take a look.
I had a major crush on Jen. I think we both, at some point, we were both crushing hard on each other, but it was like two ships passing because one of us was always in a relationship. So, and we never crossed that boundary. You know, we respected that, but we both.
So sorry to burst your bubble, but turns out this story is not true, at least according to David Schwimmer's reps. They really are on a break. But why is it that so many people love to read these tabloid headlines and a lot of us actually believe them? Why do you think, Al?
Because everybody wants to go back to, it sounds depressing, but when we all had hope. When we were young. When you're young.
When we were sipping on
Zima. When you're sipping on a Zima, sitting on your boy's the trunk of his car, talking about what you're going to do with your life, where you're going to move to, where you're going to go. There, you can't get that. Even when you make it, you still want to go back to that period, and especially whoever you dated, you romanticize that relationship. That's what I think.
That's why, are we surprised? That's why fan fiction is such a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever dabbled into fan fiction, but like so fan fiction, because Erica's looking at me like, what is that? So fan fiction, if you're a fan of Twilight, if you're stop it. If you're a fan of Twilight, for example, you can go on sites and read fan fiction where fans will actually create an alternate universe where like Jacob and Bella were together instead of Edward and Bella. Or Harry from Harry Potter and Hermione. Yeah, exactly. I'm into it. I read fan fiction, or at least I used to. I can't. Stop it right now. You know you would read fan fiction if like LeBron James and Janet Jackson were a thing.
LeBron James and Janet Jackson?
Yeah, but fan fiction, it doesn't matter. Harry Potter was never with Hermione.
Yeah, but fiction means they're not real.
No, fan fiction means a fan is creating fiction. A fan is creating fiction.
You can't do that with like someone who's married.
Yes, you can.
No.
What if someone made a fan fiction with you and Al?
Over here. Coming up on DBL, Beyonce opens up about setting boundaries, what she's focusing on as she gets ready to turn 40. And a really cool couple on TikTok is showing love to the LGBTQ community, how they're taking on the role of parents to millions who might feel alone. Plus, is this a much-needed silver lining in the Delta variant surge? The new numbers of Americans going out to get their first vaccine dose.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us today. Let's go to the desk and continue the conversation.
Tell people about fan fiction.
So Lydia, who's behind the camera, just told me that 50 Shades of Grey started
as fan fiction.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I knew that.
You did?
That's why it's so bad. That's why it is absolutely so bad. It was supposed to be like a completely deviant relationship applied to Twilight. So that's exactly where 50 Shades came from. And if you ever want to look into any sort of fan fiction, it's quite tantalizing.
Is it like a romance novel? Like people love those old Fabio romance novels.
Whatever you want. If you really have
Is it choose your own adventure?
If you really, there's so many choices. Like if you want to see Edward, if you had a thing for Edward from then you can go and see Edward in any way, shape, or form.
Somebody just showed their card.
Yeah. Now I have a question with fan fiction. Now, what if I never want to read
which
that
one's
and enjoy
Edward?
my life?
The
If I
like
just
the
want to enjoy
pale
my
one?
life and not read that?
You don't have to.
What?
Okay. Can I be honest and say something?
What? Sounds good. Juicy?
Nah, I don't know. Robert Pattinson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We gotta talk it off.
Yeah, and then I might tell you guys.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm gonna be a
Taylor
hypocrite.
Lautner.
Yeah.
What happened to Taylor Lautner?
He's like one of those guys that got huge off Twilight and then never did anything else.
Do you think he's loaded though?
Yeah,
Depending on his contracts.
I need everyone to turn off their phone. You should turn off your phone.
Is it
I
ringing?
can't wait.
No, they're doing a nationwide.
Oh, okay. Turn off our phones.
Wait, mine's
We tell you, so FEMA is actually doing a national emergency test today. So we're all checking to make sure our phones are turned off, because actually, you can't have that sound go out over the television. So we have to make sure we all turn our phones off. Boop, it's off. You don't have to turn yours off, but just a heads up, it's coming here in about 7 minutes. So be ready for that alert on your phone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. We've got some good news to share. In the middle of this Delta variant surge we're all going through, that turns out that more people are starting to get vaccinated. We're now averaging more than 700,000 vaccinations a day. That's the highest rate in more than a month. And meantime, more than 195 million Americans have now received at least one dose. I really hope that we continue to see people get vaccinated. I want everybody to get back to normal. Of course, start at the top. We want people's lives to be saved. But you brought up a really good point like a week ago where you said people missing their prom. Please continue on that, because I think we forget about that.
Well, I just hope, I think people have gotten used to trying to win and own the libs or own the Republicans and win online. But when you log off of your computer and your daughter is dancing virtually at her prom, that doesn't feel like a win. When you're not going to have any pictures of first day going to third grade, that doesn't feel like a win. And I think people are sick and tired of missing milestones because you can't get these back. So I hope that people are done with this so we can move on. I don't care who wins. I don't care how we remember this. I just want to be able to have a picnic indoors if we need to with my friends and family.
Yeah, man, I think we're getting to a point where we're like, listen, we tried to incentivize you. We tried to tell you. We tried to educate you. Now you just can't come to the party, so to speak,
Well,
right?
that's
You
changed. More people are getting vaccinated.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we're saying like, all right, we're giving up. We're going to move on with people who are vaccinated. And now people are like, well, they're going to leave. The train's about to leave. I better just get vaccinated. You could try and incentivize people, pay people. But once the train leaves the station, you're like, I want to be on it. So like you said, once they log offline, you're like, wait, this is reality. I might as well go ahead and get vaccinated. But like I said, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you definitely aren't.
Yeah, I think a big push might have been the fact that we see California and New York going in the way of you can't come here without proof of vaccination. And now when we get digitized, that's going to be even more severe for the people who decided to just go ahead and make their own vaccination cards. So yeah, I do think that there's an issue with people not wanting to be left behind. And ultimately, that is a really great incentive to not be left behind. Nobody thought of that, did we?
We all like to be part of the club.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you made it feel like, switching gears here, that like fan fiction is ridiculous. You close your eyes. I just found out that Al has won a contest for best fan fiction.
I didn't know.
He's written fan fiction.
I didn't know what it was until I'd already entered it. It was a writing contest.
You didn't know what it was?
I just thought it was a writing contest. I like to write.
Okay, we're going to talk about this in the next block, because how dare you? Coming up on DBL, our interview with a TikTok couple who acts as an all-accepting family to comfort LGBTQ followers. That is coming up next.
According to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. They share videos from the perspective of two loving, supportive parents with the swag of a Mafia movie couple. Earlier, we spoke with Lisa Brzezinski and Pope about their unique support for the LGBTQ community that has gone viral. That's today's DBL Spotlight. Cool are they? Lisa and Pope, welcome to DBL. We just watched video from the day you pretended to adopt your TikTok followers, but shortly after that video, you had millions of people saying they wanted you to be their parents. I think this is amazing. You've been dubbed the Mafia family. Where did that name come from?
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did, and our followers actually, from honestly the way that we looked, they coined us the Mafia parents, and we didn't intend on anything related to the Mafia. We actually didn't even plan on it being a family.
Yeah.
And
we were just wearing our, date night outfits and all that.
How has this massive response affected your day-to-day life?
When we first did this video, we didn't think anything of it, and we posted it and we went for a walk. And I remember we came back inside and we were like, oh my gosh.
It was like millions by the day.
And it was
crazy.
Millions of followers every single day.
Yeah. And on a daily, we're kind of hermits, so we don't really notice. But when we do go out, we do get noticed a lot.
Everybody notices us at like Walmart and Target.
We're like, oh, yeah, the grocery store randomly.
So ladies, a lot of your videos are point of view questions. This is great. So followers give you a situation and you act out as if you were their parents. These are a few of our favorites. Let's take a look. We're so proud of you. That's what it was saying. So what has been the craziest question you guys have received so far?
Well, we get literally millions. Honestly, probably the craziest one that we had was like, POV, I interrupt one of your Mafia meetings to let you know that I stole your car to go get some pizza.
People just get really detailed,
Could we come up with a situation and you guys act it out, maybe?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I find out that my friend Tori, my co-host, during the commercial breaks has been taking my phone and she's been responding to people. Now, she hasn't said anything bad, but I feel like that's a little bit of a violation. How do we talk to her in a way to let her know that I need my private space, but I do appreciate her trying to do what she thought was nice for me?
We'll just give you a look,
we wouldn't
and
say
she's
a
gonna
word.
know. Yeah,
we would be like,
say one word.
we would literally do the
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I like it. All right, I want to get a little deep. You've created a community for real for LGBTQ kids to feel safe, supported. I know it's all kind of funny, but there's also this like community feel. What do you want the outside world to know about your Mafia family?
Honestly, our biggest takeaway was just that everybody needs a safe space.
Yeah.
And that a lot more people feel alone than we ever expected. We were blown away by how many people have reached out to us. Honestly, it's been thousands per day for the last year. And they just said, you made us feel like we have somebody finally. And, you know, that was very unexpected, but probably the most rewarding part of this whole experience. And if we could say anything to anyone, it's that everybody feels very alone and they need a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So,
and it's okay to be you, just exactly how you are. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Will you guys be my parents? Okay. To our DBL Nation.
Yes.
Yay! Join the family. I
They
can't
have
wait.
8 million.
All right.
So don't feel that special.
I'm their favorite, though. To our DBL Nation, please join the family. Follow these ladies on TikTok at LKBphotography_. They're also on Instagram at LKBphotography or Pope the Barber. Lisa and Pope, thank you for joining DBL today. You made us all look cooler. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
thanks for having us.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Some folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
of our viewers are calling Al out. So let me just pull back the curtain. After we talked about fan fiction and Al pretended to be not interested and sleeping, he turned, as soon as we went, the cameras were off, he turned over and goes, so I won a contest for writing fan fiction.
I didn't know that that's what it was.
Right.
I swear. Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
But it was good. I would never do it again, but it was
And you
good.
won?
I won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably juicy.
It was. Let us never speak of it again.
Okay. Wow. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Halle Berry is opening up about ageism. Is Hollywood changing for the better when it comes to roles for women? And Beyonce is reflecting on life as she gets ready to turn 40. The major lessons she has learned in her 20s and 30s.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started with Beyonce. Oh my gosh, she's opening up about the pressure to be Beyonce in the new edition of Harper's Bazaar. There she is, looking fierce. Beyonce reflects on her life as she gets ready to turn 40 next month. And like many women, she feels the pressure of being the backbone of her family. In the interview, she said, quote, "I've not always made myself a priority. I've struggled personally with insomnia from touring for more than half of my life. I know that to give the best of me, I have to take care of myself and listen to my body." Beyonce said she's focusing more on her mental health and is even building a hemp and honey farm on her property. And she actually has beehives on her roof. What do you think, Erica? I know.
Oh, thank God.
She's
Thank God you released us all, because I used to have this mug that said, if Beyonce has 24 hours, let me make sure that I use my 24 hours. And I just felt like I was never measuring up, and to find out that she's actually human is such a relief. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Beyonce, we needed this. We all did.
We did.
Because we have this boss girl mentality. And, you know, the idea is like you keep going. Like, look at what these people are able to do. And it's an impossible standard to reach or maintain at that. And I think a lot of people are running themselves raggedy and really sacrificing their mental health with the hope that they can create this major empire. And what she's saying, and is illustrated so beautifully, basically in the past decade, is you need to compartmentalize your life and be on for the sections of your life when you can and are willing to be on. And I think that's very freeing. I think a lot of people need to hear that message.
I don't know if I told you this, Erica, but I was sitting on a couch doing a show in Boise, Idaho, and they gave you like an Airbnb. I was on this couch with tears running down my face, watching her documentary about how she prepared for her concert.
The one in Coachella?
Right.
Oh,
and
yes.
Jeff, the way she pushed herself.
After having kids?
Yes, like almost to death. Literally almost pushed herself to death. And I was crying because, first of all, as an entertainer, I could understand objectively how hard she was working, but I still couldn't. But also, like, I felt guilty that no one should work this hard for my entertainment. And to see somebody push themselves and just knowing that that wasn't just one snippet of her life, that's how she's always done it. You gotta throttle down to second gear. You cannot push your car into the red because that's not how engines work. You are going to burn out. And we've seen it with celebrities, professionals, anybody, you burn out.
Absolutely. I just find it refreshing that someone of her status, like probably the most recognizable person on the planet, still has insecurities about being a parent, wanting their kids to do better, right? And everyone could relate to that. So I find it refreshing that she still has that, to go to that level, like you were saying, where the things at, and throttle down and say, I'm just a parent. I'm not Beyonce. This isn't Jay-Z. We're parents, and I think that's great.
And I love, too, as a parent, what she's teaching Blue Ivy. And if you read the article, she says that since she's been recently adopting this, she's seen it trickle down into Blue Ivy's mental state. And she saw Blue Ivy, I guess, I don't know if they have an outdoor hot tub or a bathtub, but she said she saw Blue Ivy outside laying down in the tub with her eyes closed, taking a mental moment for herself. And Blue Ivy had no idea that Beyonce was watching her, but she knew right then and there, wow, what I am doing is actually going to save my daughter one day. So I think that's a really great lesson for all of us to remember as well. All right, so speaking of fierce women, Halle Berry says Hollywood. Says Hollywood's attitudes towards older women may be changing. So for the first time, Halle is starring in and directing a new Netflix movie called Bruised, where she plays an MMA fighter. Look at her, you guys. Wow. Named Jackie Justice. She told Entertainment Weekly that back in the day, when women in Hollywood turned 40, they were done, like really done, or they had to wait until they were old enough to play a grandma. She added the fact she is playing an MMA fighter at 54 is proof that things must be changing. What do you think of this, Erica?
Man, y'all look at Halle Berry.
I know.
Look at her. I mean, she's 54, looking like that. She is mopping the floor with these 20-somethings, okay? Mm-hmm. If she was a 20-something, she would present as a fetus. This woman looks amazing. Honestly, she looks amazing. But I do agree. I think that the narrative has definitely shifted. People are taking better care of themselves, and we see these situations a lot. But I also think it applies to not just Hollywood. We have gotten out of this weird place that we had been in for a really long time, and we're starting to, I don't know, appreciate wisdom and experience, right. Not necessarily the look of youth, because now you see the look of youth with wisdom and experience all encompassed into Halle Berry's 54-year-old body, and it's like, right, girl, right.
You see how ripped she was?
She looks amazing.
Do you think things are changing?
Absolutely, they're changing. But where's the pushback from the same people pushing back to people saying, you're not this person in real life, so how could you do this? An MMA fighter's career prime time is 25 to 35. She's 54. Did she take a part from a 25 to 35-year-old actress that could have played this part? Where's the pushback for that?
That's interesting.
But he over here playing devil's advocate.
Well, listen, we can't just all.
That's interesting.
We can't just all agree on every story. Halle Berry looks great. Let's move on.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Well, you could if you want to play devil's advocate. I don't think there's pushback when it comes to a 25 to 34-year-old
people get
age range.
If you're in a wheelchair and you're not paralyzed, people push you back.
But a disability is different, in my opinion. I think completely different.
I'm just picking one. People complain about everything. I'm picking ageism. Is that a good one? Good enough one for you?
Ageism is a really good one, but that typically applies for older women missing out on roles. And so good for her for being able to take a younger role, because
I think we
never see that
here. We grew up on TV shows where 39-year-olds were playing sophomores in high school. What y'all talking about?
But we didn't grow up in this culture. Right? Nobody cared. But I don't care. I really don't. Right. I'm just saying, where's the pushback?
But I don't.
There might be. To Jeff's point, there's always someone.
Right.
I think there's things that we're missing here, because I think there's more than just like, her age, what's factoring in this. First of all, you've watched MMA for a long time, as have I. I remember when women first started fighting, people just didn't like the idea of women punching each other in the face. Now we've gotten used to that through Ronda Rousey, where they are now household names. So now people are used to MMA. Now we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, tons of streaming platforms that need content. The way that you drive content is with names. So now you have a name with Halle Berry that you could get where you probably couldn't get her at 27 because she was beholden to 6 other roles. Now you can get these big names.
Yeah, but her roles would have been different back then too, to Erica's point. Back then, those roles went to more of like, it was more the physicality of the woman, youth, and that's what was sold. Now there's so many more well-written roles.
But what about G.I. Jane?
What about G.I. Jane?
She, who's
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore played that, and she got ripped for that.
She looked fantastic.
Yeah, she was in shape. She was older.
That's one role compared to probably millions and millions over the last 3 decades that were offered to women.
But I'm saying we're going to see more and more of this because the culture has evolved.
Yes.
In every aspect. That's
the moral of the story is, could we let actors act and do their job?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That was all I was saying.
That's the takeaway.
That was the takeaway. Just shut up and watch the movie. That's all. That's the takeaway.
That's actually the tagline for the movie.
So he's now been named as the official new host of Jeopardy. Who is?
Me?
Mike Richards.
Oh.
Yep. Mike, who is also Jeopardy's executive producer, has been taking some heat over his involvement in a couple of discrimination lawsuits that were filed a decade ago. While he was a producer on The Price is Right, Mike addressed the allegations in a statement to staff earlier this week. And former Blossom star Mayim Bialik will also host a series of primetime Jeopardy spinoffs like the National College Championship. Okay, Erica is the Jeopardy. Okay, look, just explain your face. What's going on?
Why is, unless Mayim wanted to do the little ancillary things around the show, why is she playing second fiddle to this dude? Isn't she like a neuroscience?
Brain scientist.
The thing about Alex Trebek was not only that he was, someone that you trusted. We actually believed that he knew the answers before he ever looked at the answers. We believed that. Did he? Probably, I don't know.
Does Mike Richards? Does Mike Richards?
But I don't get that same feeling from Mike Richards. I'm just being real honest. Like, he's going to find out when we find out.
Erica, big question. Are you still going to watch religiously?
No. I've actually fallen off since Alex died.
Wow.
Interesting.
Jeff, what do you think? Because we didn't get to hear you, because we talked about this on Monday. You weren't here. What do you think about Mike, the executive producer, now being the host of the show?
Interesting.
Do you like it? Do you feel like he's taking advantage of his role, even though he claims it was not his decision?
I don't know. I would have went with a name like Alec, or like Alec. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Like Al just said. I would have went with a more known name, perhaps. Like what's her name?
Mayim
Bialik.
Or LeVar Burton with
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow.
Who's that?
The black dude from Star Trek with the thing over his eyes.
Reading Rainbow. You know Reading Rainbow.
I don't know Reading Rainbow.
Of course you know Reading Rainbow. What's wrong with you?
Did I just get canceled?
Yeah, Jeff got canceled over Reading Rainbow.
Oh, man.
He knows.
I'm going down. After explaining to my kids, I went down for Reading Rainbow.
He knows Reading Rainbow.
You're not going to eat tonight, guys.
Closed captioning provided by
Liberty Mutual. Customized car insurance, so you only pay for what you...
Okay, Jeff.
How about an introduction? Hi, I'm Jeff.
Yes,
Tiffany.
Tiffany?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, here, can I have the camera, Tiffany? We're going to put the camera on you.
Well, first let's ask her if she's comfortable.
Okay.
Tiffany, are you comfortable shaking hands?
Yeah,
I just got a COVID test yesterday because people got scared. I too now.
Okay.
Tiffany, welcome to the DBL team.
Thank you.
How do you like it so far?
I love it. You guys are great. And you look great in that yellow. Thank you. Yeah,
Did you start Monday?
Yes.
Yeah, I was off.
Okay, can you give us a little of your background? Where'd you go to college?
Yes, I went to Westchester University, Rams up, hey.
Yeah.
Back in PA, moved to Denver 2019. Just been out here recently.
You like it?
It's all right.
All right, we gotta get her acclimated.
Yeah,
It's all right.
do.
Maybe I'm not in the right places. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
you also heard.
Oh.
Moving here, moving to Denver was an adjustment for me. But I think you start to learn like where your things are, people, like-minded people.
It's amazing. You'll definitely find it. If you have any questions,
This
is the one?
Ask Erica.
Tiffany also moved here right before the pandemic. I mean, you moved here in 2019, just a handful of months before everything shut down, so you haven't really had the opportunity to go out there and explore.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll do a lot of exploring.
Yes.
Especially here, so.
Yeah, and Erica
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And we all think that Jeff definitely knows what Reading Rainbow is. He just has to connect the dots.
How about a video?
It was.
All of our phones are turned off.
It was like was it PBS?
Let me see a video of this thing.
Yeah, it was like.
I'm gonna go check out this video.
DBL is your daytime destination.
I get very excited.
I was excited with you.
Okay, thank you.
We are fired up.
I am feeling very disagreeable.
Educate yourself. Though I gotta push back because sometimes.
No, I won't accept that.
Check that.
And having fun.
You have 2 straws and a strawberry shake.
I felt it in my heart and in my soul.
What's Jeff thinking?
I don't want to get canceled.
DBL's all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. It was a heinous crime that still haunts 2 counties in Texas. The shocking abduction and killing of a U.S. border inspector. Today on True Crime Chronicles, we're asking, how did this happen?
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
It is still a wound for this whole community. He has not been forgotten.
It's January 27th, 1984, in Del Rio, Texas. U.S. Customs Inspector Richard Latham arrives for his shift that afternoon, relieving Port Inspector Mike Perez. Latham stops a car to conduct a routine search of the vehicle. Inside are 4 men attempting to cross the border.
The only thing he did to those 4 guys was he went to work that day. That's all he did.
As he searches the car, Latham discovers a bag of jewelry hidden under the seat. In seconds, the men force Latham into the car at gunpoint. There are no security cameras or witnesses to record the abduction.
You got to remember there was no cameras back then. They had kind of figured out that he had been taken, he'd actually been kidnapped.
News reaches border officials that Latham may be in grave danger. They learn that the 4 men traveling inside the car are wanted for a jewelry store heist in Mexico. Their search for Latham intensifies, desperate to find him before it's too late. But their efforts are in vain. On the morning of January 28th, officers find Latham's body left in a ditch off Highway 277. There is no sign of the killers.
But they made an informed decision to kill him. That's on record. That's from their own testimony.
A manhunt ensues for the 4 men. When DPS tracks down 2 of the suspected killers, one of the men, Jesus Ramirez, takes his own life. The other, Rafael Calderon Velasquez, surrenders to the officers. In his confession, Rafael accuses Jesus Ramirez of the murder. Officials apprehend the remaining 2 suspects weeks later. Giving full confessions, they recount the gruesome details of that night. After his abduction, the killers restrained Latham with his own handcuffs. But it's what the suspects tell investigators next that sends chills down their spines.
Talked about it when he could hear it. He's listening to them plan his death, knowing Richard. He was really no threat to those guys.
Using Latham's service weapon, one of the men shot twice into the inspector's back, killing him. However, the 2 suspects point their fingers at Rafael, accusing him, not Jesus Ramirez, of killing Inspector Latham. Rafael pleads guilty to murder, and he receives a life sentence. For 36 years, Rafael lives his days and nights locked up in a federal prison in Indiana. That is until August 2020. Officials fly Rafael back to Del Rio. The Texas Department of Corrections confirms he was issued state parole in 2008. The Federal Bureau of Prisons refuses to explain why he was released.
His killer was supposed to spend his lifetime in prison, and Richard Latham didn't get that lifetime. He didn't get to walk his daughters down the aisle. He didn't get to rock his grandbabies to sleep. Rafael Calderon Velasquez took that away from him. They want for their father's legacy to be remembered, for his sacrifice to not have been for nothing.
Upon landing in Del Rio, Texas Rangers escort Rafael past a chain of border agents. A silent show of unity for one of their own, brutally gunned down in the line of duty.
We're in the third generation now, and they're still doing everything they can to keep his memory alive and to make sure justice is served.
Wow, and it's so sick that this man is walking free with just an ankle monitor. We couldn't believe it. So earlier we talked with Vanessa Croy, a reporter in Texas who covered this story.
Vanessa, thank you so much for being here. First off, how in the heck did this man get paroled? We are shaking our heads here. We've talked about it before this interview. How has this happened?
Well, guys, remember, that is a question that the family has been asking all along, and that's why they initially reached out to me to find out why this man was being released after killing their father, who is also a federal agent. You know, he was an inspector there at the International Bridge in Del Rio, but he was a federal agent. And so that is a question everybody wants to know the answer to. The family, in fact, found out about this from the local law enforcement and the Texas Rangers, who actually went to Indiana to pick up Calderon Velasquez when he was released from the federal prison. So it was just a heartbreaking kind of slap in the face to this family.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, the family is shocked and why they haven't heard why he was released. So why aren't officials saying anything about his release?
Well, and guys, that's another question that I could not answer during this story. So we do know that he was granted state parole back in, I believe, 2008, which, once again, another question, we don't even know why that happened.
Right.
The family did not get a chance to present their case to the Federal Bureau of Prisons to say why they did not want him released. I mean, once again, it goes back. He is accused and convicted of killing a federal agent.
That's what I can't get over, that this is such a federal crime, and I'm wondering what you just said kind of asks my next question. Has the Latham family been able to at least try to get him back behind bars? Are they not even being asked or invited to parole hearings? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No, not these recent parole hearings. I know they were involved previously over the years to present their case and speak about their father, who, you know, we have to remember, too, they want to keep their father's legacy alive, you know, to make sure that his sacrifice never goes unnoticed. And it's interesting to note, too, that when I spoke with Sharon Ansick and the other individual, Mike Perez, in the story, they said this case is still discussed in training for CBP officers now, because they don't want his legacy to be forgotten and his sacrifice, and also to remember the dangers that these agents walk into every day on this job. You know, the technology is so advanced now and security is so advanced than it was back in 1984, but still these agents are putting their lives on the line every day to protect our border.
Vanessa, you talk about the technology. Is anyone tracking him? Like, how do we keep tabs on this man?
Well, and as far as we know, he is under probation. He is he's on parole, and probation in El Paso. We've heard that he's wearing an ankle monitor. I wasn't able to actually confirm that because the probation office wasn't able to speak with us on camera. We had to reach out to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and we weren't able to get any answers from them.
All right, good. Great job on keeping up on that. We're covering the broad strokes here, but trust me, there's so much more to it. If you'd like to get those details, go to kens5.com. We've also covered Inspector Latham's murder on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find online too. Vanessa, thank you for keeping this in the public's eye. We really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you guys, and I can say on behalf of the family, they appreciate you guys bringing this story and keeping his legacy alive to a larger audience today. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Nearly.
According to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. Can you remember your childhood best friend? Well, it's unlikely this 2-year-old will ever forget his. Take a look at these neighbors who struck up an unlikely friendship during the pandemic.
These best friends have a 98-year age gap. 2-year-old Benjamin Olsen lives next door to Mary O'Neill, who's just shy of 100. They were both confined to their homes during the pandemic. The isolation was difficult, but then they found each other from across the fence. Benjamin would kick his ball to Mary, who'd hit it back with her cane. Mary gave Benjamin her late son's old Tonka trucks. Mary lost her husband 37 years ago, and her grandchildren and great-grandchildren all live in different states. So Benjamin and his little brother's company is a special blessing.
You're the closest thing to grandchildren I have around here.
It's enough to bring tears to the eyes of Benjamin's mom.
I'm so happy they have each other.
All the feels. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine. But will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
Welcome back to DBL. Lots of you commenting on Jeff and Reading Rainbow.
Okay.
So do you remember it?
I know the vision. I went over there. I know the guy. I know the picture. But I never went over there to that box with the pictures on it. And I don't know that show.
You don't?
No.
You might have been playing.
Maybe that's part of the reason I can't spell.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.
I was more of a podcast rainbow guy.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Alec Baldwin is facing backlash for defending Andrew Cuomo. Was his resignation really a result of cancel culture? In today's True Crime Chronicles, a man gets convicted of kidnapping and killing a federal agent.
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
Why is he free decades later? More Than Friends, the new rumor about Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer that has fans hoping for a real-life Ross and Rachel reunion. and TikTok trailblazers. Meet a couple who acts as an all-accepting family for millions of LGBTQ kids.
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, August 11th. I'm Sam here with my friends Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started. All right, so first and foremost, you're never going to believe who is defending New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned yesterday after being accused of sexually harassing nearly a dozen women. Well, that person? None other than Alec Baldwin. He called Cuomo's resignation a quote-unquote tragic day on Twitter, and he blamed cancel culture. Okay, Erica, is that just like the new excuse here? If you do something wrong, just blame it on cancel culture.
I find it very weird that Alec Baldwin is blaming things on cancel culture, because Alec Baldwin seems like the least cancelable person out there. You know, he's done some things that has definitely brought scrutiny his way, and he's never been canceled. I'm with Al in the idea that you can't really cancel someone if they continue to have a supportive fan base.
Jeff, I've said it before. I said I want to start this right now on the show. I don't think cancel culture is a thing. You think about somebody like Tucker Carlson, who said some things that have, even just saying half of what he said, would have gotten your career ended. But he's still on TV every single night because he has the highest ratings of any cable show on television right now. He cannot be canceled. You know what's been canceled? Zima, Four Loko, Crystal Pepsi, Kramer. Those have been canceled because people did not like them. As long as you have fans of whatever your product is and people show up, there will be a place for you to sell your product. When there's no longer a place for that, like it appears for Governor Cuomo, former Governor Cuomo, that's when the cancel talk starts.
It's hard to follow that with a straight answer.
Shout out to Zima.
Shout out to Zima. Man, I have got some Zima stories of my own. But when you say cancel culture doesn't exist, I absolutely think it exists to a certain degree. There are people that are uncancelable, the Joe Rogans of the world, the Alec Baldwins. If you don't have social media, you're uncancelable. If the network doesn't care what the people are saying because you make them too much money, you're uncancelable. That's the bottom line. For people that are just hanger-ons or coming-ups, you're disposable, man, and the networks will let you go like that.
I think it depends. I'm a little bit in the middle between the two of you, because you look at Chrissy Teigen.
Way to take a side step.
You want to make everybody happy. I'm wearing a yellow dress.
Just wait to hear what I have to say. Chrissy Teigen definitely has a huge fan base, so she's definitely not, in my opinion, one of the people that you say is coming up. I think she'd already been established. She lost her
commercials are still running.
Well, she lost her deals with Target. She lost.
For now. She's not erased.
She lost her contracts with a number of different networks. She lost a couple of different pilot deals that she had in the works. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of clout. So what my problem is if there is a cancel culture, and we can call it accountability culture, depending if that person deserves it, right? I think people need to have discernment. Some people deserve it. Some people are like the Anzine and Saris that get thrown into the mix. With this situation, it's taking away from when you are an Alec Baldwin saying, blame it on cancel culture. Well, guess what? Then the people that really should be canceled, all of a sudden that whole message gets diluted.
Absolutely.
So I'm more concerned about that. Am I still in the middle?
You lean in, but I like it. I like what you had to say.
I had a strong point. Okay.
Says me.
Yes. Let's just go to commercial.
I'm the best.
No.
Let's move on.
No. I just wasn't wishy-washy is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's talk about Andrew Cuomo's brother, CNN host Chris Cuomo. They both used to appear together on his show. Well, Chris is on vacation this week and has not been reporting or commenting on his brother and the big scandal. But he is apparently still advising him. That's according to fellow CNN anchor Brian Stelter, who was on Stephen Colbert's show last night. Take a look.
I'll confirm it for your viewers. I also have a source that says Chris was on the phone with his brother this week.
Is your source Chris Cuomo?
He is not. If we open up the journalism ethics book, there's no page for this. It's the craziest set of circumstances you can imagine, right? A governor and a brother, both in these high-profile jobs. This was definitely awkward for CNN, though.
Sure.
I tried to go into this thinking, okay, if I was going to cover this at CBS, how would I cover it? And try to cover it the same way. And I talked to a lot of sources at CNN. Some said, yeah, this is really weird. I'm ticked off at Chris. Others said, you know, I understand. You can't pick who your family members are.
How would you handle this, Jeff?
First of all, I find it ironic in some sort of way because they were like a thing. The Cuomo brothers on their show, they were rising in the ratings. They were ripping on Trump every day from the right side to the left side or wherever it may be, right? Now he does something egregious or wrong and now he walks away from it. Now you can't continue your show. I find it weird that you want the other side canceled, going back to cancel culture, and not just using this as an example, but everyone wants that person canceled, right? I want you canceled, I want this person canceled, you don't need to be here anymore. And until it happens to them or someone on their side of their beliefs, then they don't want cancel culture. Then they're like, wait, this whole thing's getting out of control. And that's what's going on with Cuomo right now. He wants to distance himself. So if you think you're on social media and you have people that have your back and you're like, oh, everyone's got my back because I'm going to hate on this person. Let me tell you something. The moment you get canceled, everybody's jumping ship and you're out on your own. And that's what's happening to Cuomo right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens.
But is it different when it's your blood? It's your brother. What do you do? How do you handle it?
You make that decision when you decide to have your brother on your show for 3 months straight. When you decide to get rid of that separation of church and state, and you're like, we're going to have direct connection with the media and one side of a political party, when that side of that political party makes a mistake is caught doing something illegal, let's call it what it is, and all of a sudden you're on vacation, Erica, that's why people don't trust the media, because when it's time to be accountable, when you got all those ratings because your brother's the governor and everything's going down with COVID and everybody wants to hear what he has to say and everybody wants to hear him trash Trump, now when it's time for him to take accountability, you're on vacation. That doesn't fly with a lot of people, and it kills the credibility.
But what would you have him do for an ongoing investigation? Like, what would be the appropriate response for him to come on and say? I mean, it is an ongoing, open investigation. I just think at the end of the day, you cannot choose your family. And I think that this is something that a lot of people will be thinking about. I mean, this is like not to conflate the two. It's a tiny microcosm. But when I was doing morning radio in Chicago and my brother was the captain of the Northwestern football team, like, it's not like we were huge celebrities, but I'm like, people are watching us and we need to be so careful. And we were each other's accountability partners for everything. And we were young, like we'd go to nightclubs and, you know, be crazy and whatever. But I was like, this is so important that we do not tarnish what our parents have been able to build and now we're expounding on. So this is something that a lot of people consider when you have a lot of things going on in a family.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for sure. Okay, so we got to speak about another big headline that our viewers right now are also talking about. It is everywhere today. It claims Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer are dating and that their Friends reunion special stirred up feelings. If you don't remember, that's when we all learned that the two had been crushing hard on each other back in the 90s. Take a look.
I had a major crush on Jen. I think we both, at some point, we were both crushing hard on each other, but it was like two ships passing because one of us was always in a relationship. So, and we never crossed that boundary. You know, we respected that, but we both.
So sorry to burst your bubble, but turns out this story is not true, at least according to David Schwimmer's reps. They really are on a break. But why is it that so many people love to read these tabloid headlines and a lot of us actually believe them? Why do you think, Al?
Because everybody wants to go back to, it sounds depressing, but when we all had hope. When we were young. When you're young.
When we were sipping on Zima.
When you're sipping on a Zima, sitting on your boy's the trunk of his car, talking about what you're going to do with your life, where you're going to move to, where you're going to go. There, you can't get that. Even when you make it, you still want to go back to that period, and especially whoever you dated, you romanticize that relationship. That's what I think.
That's why, are we surprised? That's why fan fiction is such a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever dabbled into fan fiction, but like so fan fiction, because Erica's looking at me like, what like that? So fan fiction, if you're a fan of Twilight, if you're stop it. If you're a fan of Twilight, for example, you can go on sites and read fan fiction where fans will actually create an alternate universe where like Jacob and Bella were together instead of Edward and Bella. Or Harry from Harry Potter and Hermione. Yeah, exactly. I'm into it. I read fan fiction, or at least I used to. I can't. Stop it right now. You know you would read fan fiction if like LeBron James and Janet Jackson were a thing.
LeBron James and Janet Jackson?
Yeah, but fan fiction, it doesn't matter. Harry Potter was never with Hermione.
Yeah, but fiction means they're not real.
No, fan fiction means a fan is creating fiction. A fan is creating fiction.
You can't do that with like someone who's married.
Yes, you can.
No.
What if someone made a fan fiction with you and Al?
Over here. Coming up on DBL, Beyonce opens up about setting boundaries, what she's focusing on as she gets ready to turn 40. And a really cool couple on TikTok is showing love to the LGBTQ community, how they're taking on the role of parents to millions who might feel alone. Plus, is this a much-needed silver lining in the Delta variant surge? The new numbers of Americans going out to get their first vaccine dose.
Closed captioning provided by
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us today. Let's go to the desk and continue the conversation.
Tell people about fan fiction.
So Lydia, who's behind the camera, just told me that 50 Shades of Grey started
as fan fiction.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I knew that.
You
Yeah.
did?
That's why it's so bad. That's why it is absolutely so bad. It was supposed to be like a completely deviant relationship applied to Twilight. So that's exactly where 50 Shades came from. And if you ever want to look into any sort of fan fiction, it's quite tantalizing.
Is it like a romance novel? Like people love those old Fabio romance novels.
Whatever you want. If you really have a thing.
Choose your own adventure?
If you really, well, there's so many choices. Like if you want to see Edward, if you had a thing for Edward then you can go and see Edward in any way, shape,
Somebody
or
just
form.
showed their card.
Yeah. Now, I have a question with fan fiction. Now, what if I never want to read
which
that
one's
and enjoy
Edward?
my life?
The
If I would
like
just
the
want to enjoy
pale
my
one?
life and not read that?
You don't have to.
What?
Okay. Can I be honest and say something?
What? Sounds good. Juicy?
Nah, I don't know.
Robert
I say it on
Pattinson.
camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We gotta talk off.
Yeah, and then I might tell you guys.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm gonna be a
Taylor
hypocrite.
Lautner.
Yeah,
What happened
Jacob.
to Taylor Lautner?
He's like one of those guys that got huge off Twilight and then never did anything else.
Do you think he's loaded though?
Yeah,
Depending on his contracts.
I need everyone to turn off their phone. You should turn off your phone.
Is it
I
ringing?
can't wait.
No, they're doing a nationwide.
Oh, okay. Turn off our phone.
Wait, mine's
Let me tell you, so FEMA is actually doing a national emergency test today. So we're all checking to make sure our phones are turned off because actually you can't have that sound go out over the television. So we have to make sure we all turn our phones off. Boop, it's off. You don't have to turn yours off, but just a heads up, it's coming here in about 7 minutes. So be ready for that alert on your phone. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. We've got some good news to share. In the middle of this Delta variant surge we're all going through, that turns out that more people are starting to get vaccinated. We're now averaging more than 700,000 vaccinations a day. That's the highest rate in more than a month. And meantime, more than 195 million Americans have now received at least one dose. I really hope that we continue to see people get vaccinated. I want everybody to get back to normal. Of course, start at the top. We want people's lives to be saved. But you brought up a really good point like a week ago where you said people missing their prom. Please continue on that because I think we forget about that.
Well, I just hope, I think people have gotten used to trying to win and own the libs or own the Republicans and win online. But when you log off of your computer and your daughter is dancing virtually at her prom, that doesn't feel like a win. When you're not going to have any pictures of first day going to third grade, that doesn't feel like a win. And I think people are sick and tired of missing milestones because you can't get these back. So I hope that people are done with this so we can move on. I don't care who wins. I don't care how we remember this. I just want to be able to have a picnic indoors if we need to with my friends and family.
Yeah, man, I think we're getting to a point where we're like, listen, we tried to incentivize you. We tried to tell you. We tried to educate you. Now you just can't come to the party, so to speak,
But
right?
what's changed? More people are getting vaccinated.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we're saying like, all right, we're giving up. We're going to move on with people who are vaccinated. And now people are like, well, they're going to leave. The train's about to leave. I better just get vaccinated. You could try and incentivize people, pay people. But once the train leaves the station, you're like, I want to be on it. You know, so like you said, once they log offline, you're like, wait, this is reality. I might as well go ahead and get vaccinated. But like I said, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you definitely aren't.
Yeah, I think a big push might have been the fact that we see California and New York going in the way of you can't come here without proof of vaccination. And now when we get digitized, that's going to be even more severe for the people who decided to just go ahead and make their own vaccination cards. So yeah, I do think that there's an issue with people not wanting to be left behind. And ultimately, that is a really great incentive to not be left behind. Nobody thought of that, did we?
No, we all like to be part of the club.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you made it feel like, switching gears here, that like fan fiction is ridiculous. You close your eyes. I just found out that Al has won a contest for best fan fiction.
I didn't know.
He's written fan fiction.
I didn't know what it was until I'd already entered it. It was a writing contest.
You didn't know what it was?
I just thought it was a writing contest. I like to write.
Okay, we're going to talk about this in the next block because how dare you? Coming up on DBL, our interview with a TikTok couple who acts as an all-accepting family to comfort LGBTQ followers. That is coming up next.
According to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. They share videos from the perspective of two loving, supportive parents with the swag of a Mafia movie couple. Earlier, we spoke with Lisa Brzezinski and Pope about their unique support for the LGBTQ community that has gone viral. That's today's DBL Spotlight. Cool are they? Lisa and Pope, welcome to DBL. We just watched video from the day you pretended to adopt your TikTok followers, but shortly after that video, you had millions of people saying they wanted you to be their parents. I think this is amazing. You've been dubbed the Mafia family. Where did that name come from?
We didn't expect it to go as crazy as it did, and our followers actually, from honestly the way that we looked, they coined us the Mafia parents, and we didn't intend on anything related to the Mafia. We actually didn't even plan on it being a family.
Yeah.
And
we were just wearing our, date night outfits and all that.
How has this massive response affected your day-to-day life?
When we first did this video, we didn't think anything of it, and we posted it and we went for a walk. And I remember we came back inside and we were like, oh my gosh.
It was like millions by the day.
And it was
crazy.
Millions of followers every single day.
Yeah. And on a daily, we're kind of hermits, so we don't really notice. But when we do go out, we do get noticed a lot.
Everybody notices us at like Walmart and Target.
Like, oh, yeah, the grocery store randomly.
So ladies, a lot of your videos are point of view questions. This is great. So followers give you a situation and you act out as if you were their parents. These are a few of our favorites. Let's take a look. We're so proud of you. That's what it was saying. So what has been the craziest question you guys have received so far?
Well, we get literally millions. Honestly, probably the craziest one that we had was like, POV, I interrupt one of your Mafia meetings to let you know that I stole your car to go get some pizza.
People just get really detailed, you know.
Could we come up with a situation and you guys act it out maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I find out that my friend Tori, my co-host, during the commercial breaks has been taking my phone and she's been responding to people. Now, she hasn't said anything bad, but I feel like that's a little bit of a violation. How do we talk to her in a way to let her know that I need my private space, but I do appreciate her trying to do what she thought was nice for me?
We'll just give you a look,
We wouldn't
and
say
she's
a
gonna
word.
know. Yeah,
We would be
wouldn't
like,
say one
we
word.
would literally do the
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. All right, I want to get a little deep. You've created a community for real for LGBTQ kids to feel safe, supported. I know it's all kind of funny, but there's also this like community feel. What do you want the outside world to know about your Mafia family?
Honestly, our biggest takeaway was just that everybody needs a safe space.
Yeah.
And that a lot more people feel alone than we ever expected. We were blown away by how many people have reached out to us. Honestly, it's been thousands per day for the last year. And they just said, you made us feel like we have somebody finally. And, you know, that was very unexpected, but probably the most rewarding part of this whole experience. And if we could say anything to anyone, it's that everybody feels very alone and they need a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So,
and it's okay to be you, just exactly how you are. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Will you guys be my parents? Okay. To our DBL Nation.
Yes.
Yay! Join the family. I
They
can't
have
wait.
8 million.
All right.
So don't feel that special.
I'm their favorite, though. To our DBL Nation, please join the family. Follow these ladies on TikTok at LKBphotography_. They're also on Instagram at LKBphotography or Pope the Barber. Lisa and Pope, thank you for joining DBL today. You made us all look cooler. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
thanks for having us.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Some folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round 2 will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact-check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
A lot of our viewers are calling Al out. So let me just pull back the curtain. After we talked about fan fiction and Al pretended to be not interested and sleeping, he turned, as soon as we went, the cameras were off, he turned over and goes, so I won a contest for writing fan fiction.
I didn't know that that's what it was.
Right.
I swear. Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
But it was good. I would never do it again, but it was
And you
good.
won?
I won.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably juicy.
It was. Let us never speak of it again.
Okay. Wow. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Halle Berry is opening up about ageism. Is Hollywood changing for the better when it comes to roles for women? And Beyonce is reflecting on life as she gets ready to turn 40. The major lessons she has learned in her 20s and 30s.
First things first, if you haven't taken a picture of your COVID vaccination card, do it now, front and back. It's one of the best backup plans there is. Even the CDC recommends it. Just don't take a selfie and don't post it online. If it's already too late and you've misplaced or lost that card, you can get another copy. The best place to start is where you got the shot. If that happened to be a pharmacy or store, you can contact them to get a replacement card. Some, like Walmart and CVS, even let you access your information through their apps. If that doesn't work, reach out to the State Health Department's Immunization Information System. All vaccine providers have to report to the IIS. You can contact the IIS directly, but keep in mind, it could take up to a couple of weeks to get a replacement card that way. There are also apps you can download to store a digital copy of your vaccine card, but do your research before downloading any app. I'm Mimi Jung, and that's Connecting the Dots.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. Let's get started with Beyonce. Oh my gosh, she's opening up about the pressure to be Beyonce in the new edition of Harper's Bazaar. There she is, looking fierce. Beyonce reflects on her life as she gets ready to turn 40 next month. And like many women, she feels the pressure of being the backbone of her family. In the interview, she said, quote, "I've not always made myself a priority. I've struggled personally with insomnia from touring for more than half of my life. I know that to give the best of me, I have to take care of myself and listen to my body." Beyonce said she's focusing more on her mental health and is even building a hemp and honey farm on her property. And she actually has beehives on her roof. What do you think, Erica? I know.
Oh, thank God. Thank God you released us all, because I used to have this mug that said, if Beyonce has 24 hours, let me make sure that I use my 24 hours. And I just felt like I was never measuring up, and to find out that she's actually human is such a relief. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Beyonce, we needed this. We all did.
We did.
Because we have this boss girl mentality, and you know, the idea is like you keep going, like look at what these people are able to do, and it's an impossible standard to reach or maintain at that. And I think a lot of people are running themselves raggedy and really sacrificing their mental health with the hope that they can create this major empire. And what she's saying, and is illustrated so beautifully basically in the past decade, is you need to compartmentalize your life and be on for the sections of your life when you can and are willing to be on. And I think that's very freeing. I think a lot of people need to hear that message.
I don't know if I told you this, Erica, but I was sitting on a couch doing a show in Boise, Idaho, and they gave you like an Airbnb. I was on this couch with tears running down my face, watching her documentary about how she prepared for her concert.
The one in Coachella?
Right.
Oh,
and
yes.
Jeff, the way she pushed herself.
After having kids?
Yes, like almost to death. Literally almost pushed herself to death. And I was crying because, first of all, as an entertainer, I could understand objectively how hard she was working, but I still couldn't. But also, like, I felt guilty that no one should work this hard for my entertainment. And to see somebody push themselves, and just knowing that that wasn't just one snippet of her life, that's how she's always done it. You gotta throttle down to second gear. You cannot push your car into the red, because that's not how engines work. You are going to burn out, and we've seen it with celebrities, professionals, anybody. You burn out.
Absolutely. I just find it refreshing that someone of her status, like probably the most recognizable person on the planet, still has insecurities about being a parent, wanting their kids to do better, right? And everyone could relate to that. So I find it refreshing that she still has that, to go to that level, like you were saying, where the things at, and throttle down and say, I'm just a parent. I'm not Beyonce. This isn't Jay-Z. We're parents, and I think that's great.
And I love, too, as a parent, what she's teaching Blue Ivy. And if you read the article, she says that since she's been recently adopting this, she's seen it trickle down into Blue Ivy's mental state. And she saw Blue Ivy, I guess, I don't know if they have an outdoor hot tub or a bathtub, but she said she saw Blue Ivy outside, laying down in the tub with her eyes closed, taking a mental moment for herself. And Blue Ivy had no idea that Beyonce was watching her, but she knew right then and there, wow, what I am doing is actually going to save my daughter one day. So I think that's a really great lesson for all of us to remember as well. All right, so speaking of fierce women, Halle Berry says
Cleveland.
Says Hollywood's attitudes towards older women may be changing. So for the first time, Halle is starring in and directing a new Netflix movie called Bruised, where she plays an MMA fighter. Look at her, you guys. Wow. Named Jackie Justice. She told Entertainment Weekly that back in the day, when women in Hollywood turned 40, they were done, like really done, or they had to wait until they were old enough to play a grandma. She added the fact she is playing an MMA fighter at 54 is proof that things must be changing. What do you think of this, Erica?
Man, y'all look at Halle Berry.
I know.
Look at her. I mean, she's 54, looking like that. She is mopping the floor with these 20-somethings, okay? If she was a 20-something, she would present as a fetus. This woman looks amazing. Honestly, she looks amazing. But I do agree. I think that the narrative has definitely shifted. People are taking better care of themselves, and we see these situations a lot. But I also think it applies to not just Hollywood. we have gotten out of this weird place that we had been in for a really long time, and we're starting to, I don't know, appreciate wisdom and experience, not necessarily the look of youth, because now you see the look of youth with wisdom and experience all encompassed into Halle Berry's 54-year-old body, and it's like, right, girl, right.
You see how ripped she was?
She looks amazing.
Do you think things are changing?
Absolutely, they're changing. But where's the pushback from the same people pushing back to people saying, you're not this person in real life, so how could you do this? An MMA fighter's career prime time is 25 to 35. She's 54. Did she take a part from a 25 to 35-year-old actress that could have played this part? Where's the pushback for that?
That's interesting.
We over here playing devil's advocate.
Well, listen, we can't just all.
That's interesting.
We can't just all agree on every story. Halle Berry looks great. Let's move on.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Well, you could say, if you want to play devil's advocate. I don't think there's pushback when it comes to a 25 to 34-year-old
people get
age range.
if you're in a wheelchair and you're not paralyzed, people push you back.
But a disability is different, in my opinion. I think completely different.
I'm just picking one. People complain about everything. I'm picking ageism. Is that a good enough one for you?
Ageism is a really good one, but that typically applies for older women missing out on roles. And so good for her for being able to take a younger role, because
I think we never see that here. We grew up on TV shows where 39-year-olds were playing sophomores in high school. What y'all talking about?
But we didn't grow up in this culture. Right? Nobody cared. But I don't care. I really don't.
Right.
I'm just saying, where's the pushback?
But I don't.
There might be. To Jeff's point, there's always someone.
Right.
I think there's things that we're missing here, because I think there's more than just like, her age, what's factoring in this. First of all, you've watched MMA for a long time, as have I. I remember when women first started fighting, people just didn't like the idea of women punching each other in the face. Now we've gotten used to that through Ronda Rousey, where they're now household names. So now people are used to MMA. Now we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, tons of streaming platforms that need content. The way that you drive content is with names. So now you have a name with Halle Berry that you could get where you probably couldn't get her at 27 because she was beholden to 6 other roles. Now you can get these big names.
Yeah, but her roles would have been different back then too, to Erica's point. Back then, those roles went to more of like, it was more the physicality of the woman, youth, and that's what was sold. Now there's so many more well-written roles.
But what about G.I. Jane?
What about G.I. Jane?
She, who's the
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore played that, and she got ripped for that.
She looked fantastic.
Yes, she was in shape. She was older.
That's one role compared to probably millions and millions over the last 3 decades that were offered to women.
But I'm saying we're going to see more and more of this because the culture has evolved.
Yes.
In every aspect. That's
the moral of the story is, could we let actors act and do their job?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That was all I was saying.
That's the takeaway.
That was the takeaway. Just shut up and watch the movie. That's all. That's the takeaway.
That's actually the tagline for the movie.
So he's now been named as the official new host of Jeopardy. Who is?
Me?
Mike Richards.
Oh.
Yep. Mike, who is also Jeopardy's executive producer, has been taking some heat over his involvement in a couple of discrimination lawsuits that were filed a decade ago. While he was a producer on The Price is Right, Mike addressed the allegations in a statement to staff earlier this week. And former Blossom star Mayim Bialik will also host a series of primetime Jeopardy spinoffs like the National College Championship. Okay, Erica is the Jeopardy. Okay, look, just explain your face. What's going on?
Why is, unless Mayim wanted to do the little ancillary things around the show, why is she playing second fiddle to this dude? Isn't she like a neuroscience
brain scientist?
The thing about Alex Trebek was not only that he was, someone that you trusted. We actually believed that he knew the answers before he ever looked at the answers. We believed that. Did he? Probably, I don't know.
Does Mike Richards? Does Mike Richards?
But I don't get that same feeling from Mike Richards. I'm just being real honest. Like, he's going to find out when we find out.
Erica, big question. Are you still going to watch religiously?
No. I've actually fallen off since Alex died.
Wow.
Interesting.
Jeff, what do you think? Because we didn't get to hear you, because we talked about this on Monday. You weren't here. What do you think about Mike, the executive producer, now being the host of the show?
Interesting.
Do you like it? Do you feel like he's taking advantage of his role, even though he claims it was not his decision?
I don't know. I would have went with a name like Alec, or like Alec. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Like Al just said. I would have went with a more known name, perhaps. Like what's her name?
Mayim.
Mayim Bialik.
Or LeVar Burton was up for it.
No, I don't know LeVar Burton.
Reading Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Who's that?
The black dude
my
from
gosh.
Star Trek with the thing over his eyes.
Reading Rainbow. You know Reading Rainbow.
I don't know Reading Rainbow.
Of course you know Reading Rainbow. What's wrong with you?
Did I just get canceled?
Jeff got canceled over Reading Rainbow.
Oh, man.
He knows.
I'm going down. After explaining to my kids, I went down for Reading Rainbow.
He knows Reading Rainbow.
You're not going to
We'll
eat tonight, guys.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay, Jeff.
How about an introduction? Hi, I'm Jeff.
Yeah, so
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Yes. No, I haven't.
Oh,
Okay, here. Can I have the camera, Tiffany? We're gonna put the camera on you.
Well, first let's ask her if she's comfortable.
Okay.
Tiffany, are you comfortable shaking hands?
Yeah,
I just got a COVID test yesterday because people got scared. I too now.
Okay.
Tiffany, welcome to the DBL team.
Thank you.
How do you like it so far?
I love it. You guys are great. And you look great in that yellow leather. Thank you. Yeah,
Did you start Monday?
Yes.
Yeah, I was off.
Okay, can you give us a little of your background? Where'd you go to college?
Yes, I went to Westchester University, Rams up, hey. Back in PA, moved to Denver 2019. Just been out here recently.
You like it?
It's all right.
All right, we gotta get her acclimated.
Yeah,
It's all right. Maybe I'm not in the right places. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
you also
Oh.
Moving to Denver was an adjustment for me.
Yeah.
But I think you start to learn like where your things are, people, like-minded people.
It's amazing. You'll definitely find it. If you have any questions,
She
do what we all did. Ask Erica.
Tiffany also moved here right before the pandemic. I mean, you moved here in 2019, just a handful of months before everything shut down, so you haven't really had the opportunity to go out there and explore.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll do a lot of exploring.
Yes.
Especially here, so.
Yeah, and Erica
Welcome
knows.
aboard.
Thank you guys.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And we all think that Jeff definitely knows what Reading Rainbow is. He just has to connect the dots.
How about a video?
It was.
All of our phones are turned off.
It was like was it PBS?
Let me see a video of this thing.
Yeah, it was like.
I'm gonna go check out this video.
DBL is your daytime destination.
I get very excited.
I was excited with you.
Okay, thank you.
We are fired up.
I am feeling very disagreeable.
Educate yourself. Though I gotta push back because sometimes.
No, I won't accept that.
Check that.
And having fun.
You have 2 straws and a strawberry shake.
I felt it in my heart and in my soul.
What's Jeff thinking?
I don't want to get canceled.
DBL's all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. It was a heinous crime that still haunts 2 counties in Texas. The shocking abduction and killing of a U.S. border inspector. Today on True Crime Chronicles, we're asking, how did this happen?
It was just cold-blooded assassination.
It is still a wound for this whole community. He has not been forgotten.
It's January 27th, 1984, in Del Rio, Texas. U.S. Customs Inspector Richard Latham arrives for his shift that afternoon, relieving Port Inspector Mike Perez. Latham stops a car to conduct a routine search of the vehicle. Inside are 4 men attempting to cross the border.
The only thing he did to those 4 guys was he went to work that day. That's all he did.
As he searches the car, Latham discovers a bag of jewelry hidden under the seat. In seconds, the men force Latham into the car at gunpoint. There are no security cameras or witnesses to record the abduction.
You got to remember there was no cameras back then. They had kind of figured out that he had been taken, he'd actually been kidnapped.
News reaches border officials that Latham may be in grave danger. They learn that the 4 men traveling inside the car are wanted for a jewelry store heist in Mexico. Their search for Latham intensifies, desperate to find him before it's too late. But their efforts are in vain. On the morning of January 28th, officers find Latham's body left in a ditch off Highway 277. There is no sign of the killers.
But they made an informed decision to kill him. That's on record. That's from their own testimony.
A manhunt ensues for the 4 men. When DPS tracks down 2 of the suspected killers, one of the men, Jesus Ramirez, takes his own life. The other, Rafael Calderon Velasquez, surrenders to the officers. In his confession, Rafael accuses Jesus Ramirez of the murder. Officials apprehend the remaining 2 suspects weeks later. Giving full confessions, they recount the gruesome details of that night. After his abduction, the killers restrained Latham with his own handcuffs. But it's what the suspects tell investigators next that sends chills down their spines.
Talked about it when he could hear it. He's listening to them plan his death, knowing Richard. He was really no threat to those guys.
Using Latham's service weapon, one of the men shot twice into the inspector's back, killing him. However, the 2 suspects point their fingers at Rafael, accusing him, not Jesus Ramirez, of killing Inspector Latham. Rafael pleads guilty to murder, and he receives a life sentence. For 36 years, Rafael lives his days and nights locked up in a federal prison in Indiana. That is until August 2020. Officials fly Rafael back to Del Rio. The Texas Department of Corrections confirms he was issued state parole in 2008. The Federal Bureau of Prisons refuses to explain why he was released.
His killer was supposed to spend his lifetime in prison, and Richard Latham didn't get that lifetime. He didn't get to walk his daughters down the aisle. He didn't get to rock his grandbabies to sleep. Rafael Calderon Velasquez took that away from him. They want for their father's legacy to be remembered, for his sacrifice to not have been for nothing.
Upon landing in Del Rio, Texas Rangers escort Rafael past a chain of border agents. A silent show of unity for one of their own, brutally gunned down in the line of duty.
We're in the 3rd generation now, and they're still doing everything they can to keep his memory alive and to make sure justice is served.
Wow, and it's so sick that this man is walking free with just an ankle monitor. We couldn't believe it. So earlier we talked with Vanessa Croy, a reporter in Texas who covered this story.
Vanessa, thank you so much for being here. First off, how in the heck did this man get paroled? We are shaking our heads here. We've talked about it before this interview. How has this happened?
Well, guys, remember, that is a question that the family has been asking all along, and that's why they initially reached out to me to find out why this man was being released after killing their father, who is also a federal agent. You know, he was an inspector there at the International Bridge in Del Rio, but he was a federal agent. And so that is a question everybody wants to know the answer to. The family, in fact, found out about this from the local law enforcement and the Texas Rangers, who actually went to Indiana to pick up Calderon Velasquez when he was released from the federal prison. So it was just a heartbreaking kind of slap in the face to this family.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, the family is shocked and why they haven't heard why he was released. So why aren't officials saying anything about his release?
Well, and guys, that's another question that I could not answer during this story. So we do know that he was granted state parole back in, I believe, 2008, which, once again, another question, we don't even know why that happened.
Right.
The family did not get a chance to present their case to the Federal Bureau of Prisons to say why they did not want him released. I mean, once again, it goes back. He is accused and convicted of killing a federal agent.
That's what I can't get over, that this is such a federal crime. And I'm wondering what you just said kind of asks my next question. Has the Latham family been able to at least try to get him back behind bars? Are they not even being asked or invited to parole hearings? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No, not these recent parole hearings. I know they were involved previously over the years to present their case and speak about their father, who, you know, we have to remember, too, they want to keep their father's legacy alive, you know, to make sure that his sacrifice never goes unnoticed. And it's interesting to note, too, that when I spoke with Sharon Ansick and the other individual, Mike Perez, in the story, they said this case is still discussed in training for CBP officers now because they don't want his legacy to be forgotten and his sacrifice, and also to remember the dangers that these agents walk into every day on this job. You know, the technology is so advanced now and security is so advanced than it was back in 1984, but still these agents are putting their lives on the line every day to protect our border.
Vanessa, you talk about the technology. Is anyone tracking him? Like, how do we keep tabs on this man?
Well, and as far as we know, he is under probation. He is he's on parole, and probation in El Paso. We've heard that he's wearing an ankle monitor. I wasn't able to actually confirm that because the probation office wasn't able to speak with us on camera. We had to reach out to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and we weren't able to get any answers from them.
All right, good. Great job on keeping up on that. We're covering the broad strokes here, but trust me, there's so much more to it. If you'd like to get those details, go to kens5.com. We've also covered Inspector Latham's murder on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find online too. Vanessa, thank you for keeping this in the public's eye. We really appreciate it.
And we appreciate you guys, and I can say on behalf of the family, they appreciate you guys bringing this story and keeping his legacy alive to a larger audience today. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
According to two new reports that have not been peer-reviewed yet, the Moderna vaccine appears to be performing better against the Delta coronavirus variant than the Pfizer vaccine. The first study looked at patients at the Mayo Clinic. It found in early 2021, the Pfizer vaccine was 76% effective at preventing infections. But when Delta took over in July, that effectiveness dropped to 42%. Over that same time period, Moderna's efficacy dropped too, but not as much. It went from 86% to 76%. Another study in Canada looked at elderly nursing home residents. It found they produced a strong immune response after the Moderna vaccine compared to the Pfizer vaccine. The researchers behind that study say the results show the elderly will either need higher doses or a booster shot. We're also getting an idea of how long protection from the vaccines last. Research out of Israel reveals people were more likely to test positive for COVID 5 months after being fully vaccinated with Pfizer compared to those who'd been vaccinated within the past 5 months. The CEO of Pfizer has said a booster shot may be needed.
Welcome back to DBL. Can you remember your childhood best friend? Well, it's unlikely this 2-year-old will ever forget his. Take a look at these neighbors who struck up an unlikely friendship during the pandemic.
These best friends have a 98-year age gap. 2-year-old Benjamin Olsen lives next door to Mary O'Neill, who's just shy of 100. They were both confined to their homes during the pandemic. The isolation was difficult, but then they found each other from across the fence. Benjamin would kick his ball to Mary, who'd hit it back with her cane. Mary gave Benjamin her late son's old Tonka trucks. Mary lost her husband 37 years ago, and her grandchildren and great-grandchildren all live in different states. So Benjamin and his little brother's company is a special blessing.
You're the closest thing to grandchildren I have around here.
It's enough to bring tears to the eyes of Benjamin's mom.
I'm so happy they have each other.
All the feels. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Folks who've recovered from COVID don't think they need the vaccine, but will natural immunity be enough to protect them? Let's connect the dots. Health experts say no. Recovering from COVID-19 is not enough to protect you from getting the virus again. Your antibodies may reduce your risk, but the vaccines offer much better protection. The CDC says people are twice as likely to be reinfected with COVID if they don't receive the vaccine. Relying on natural immunity can also put others at risk. Doctors say people who are reinfected with COVID are more likely to not show any symptoms. That means they risk spreading the virus to children and people with compromised immune systems without even realizing it. And just because your body fought off COVID the first time does not mean round two will go the same. Cases are often milder, but there are exceptions to the rule. The virus is mutating, which means you're seeing more reinfected patients in the hospital. And that is connecting the dots.
The Verify team is here to fact-check the questionable things you see circulating on social media. Take these tweets, which claim that you should not laminate your vaccine card because that could ruin it. So let's verify. Could laminating your card really cause damage? Our sources are the CDC and Staples. And in some cases, the answer is yes. Laminating the card can cause damage. Staples says that if your card has stickers printed using a thermal printer, the heat used during the lamination process will turn that sticker black and ruin it. So the first thing you'll want to do is check your card for any stickers. The CDC suggests that the best way to make a backup of your card is to take a pic and store it as a digital copy.
With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff for Mile High Mornings.
Welcome back to DBL. Lots of you commenting on Jeff and Reading Rainbow.
Okay.
So, do you remember it?
I know the vision. I went over there. I know the guy. I know the picture. But I never went over there to that box with the pictures on it. And I don't know that show.
You don't?
No.
You might have been playing.
Maybe that's part of the reason I can't spell.
DBL is new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.
I was more of a podcast rainbow guy.